You saw from the title, I am going to try to do a Twitter space today. I noticed that a bunch of people have been coming, a bunch of leftist scumbags have been coming for the whatever podcast.
Athlone TV is now live. Streaming World of Warcraft, SoD Hunter PvP.
Uh,
Perfect. Hang on, I had to enable the mic. All right, I think I'm in the space here. Let's see. Yep, I got audio. Can any of you guys inside the space hear me here? Do it live. Give a thumbs up if you can hear me inside the actual space. It looks like they can. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just taking care of the issue on my end. I'm also live streaming this, so let's dive into it. I want to make sure you guys can hear me though. Maybe I can bring somebody up. Maybe I can bring somebody up and they can tell me if they can hear me or not. Satius, can I bring you in real quick? Give me the thumbs up. Oh, there we go. Hang on.
Hello, we can hear you fine.
You can hear me? Okay, perfect. All right.
Yep.
All right, great. So, how do I make you, I guess, co-mod on this? Co-host, all right. There you go. We got the co-host invite there. All right. I think we've got it, guys. I think we've got it. Cozy sends in a 1,000 SEK dollars and says, when you go back to the Whatever podcast, tell Brian he needs to be more kind towards Nick. And oh my fucking God, I don't understand how you can debate the girls there or tards like Destiny or the wannabes. Like, how hard is it to say yes or no to a question? You're amazing. Great. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Let me dive into kind of the point of the space. So there's been a lot of leftist criticism which has been going on towards the Whatever podcast. I see that Max, Mr. Girl, he's going to be doing a hit piece on it shortly. The kind of irony behind Mr. Girl doing this hit piece, his criticism seems to be that there's an underpinning for misogyny. There's an underpinning for misogyny which is going on. And so he's going to get to the heart of it by expressing this kind of misogyny. So he's requested that many of the women who have been on the Whatever podcast reach out to him so that he can put together his hit piece. Interestingly enough, it seems to me that he wants to also kind of get rid of their agency. He wants to pretend that these women are so stupid that they were coming under false pretenses, whereas they really aren't. They're trying to get on the largest platforms that they possibly can so that they can, represent their OnlyFans or, they're seeking fame, fortune, things like this. So, but I see that the leftist criticism has been going like crazy. So I wanted to give people an opportunity to kind of respond. Orthodox Daniel, can you hear me okay? You requested that you could speak, so I brought you up. Are you there?
Looks like he's connecting. Sometimes it takes a minute.
Okay. Okay, looks like Lucifer wants to have a chat. I'm sure with the name Lucifer, they're,
Kind of weird they're both just connecting. I'm not sure why that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Try the other guy, Apache, and see if all three of them do that, then it's probably a problem with the space.
Yeah, well, I mean, why were you able to connect then? So.
Okay, Lucifer looks connected.
Yeah, can you hear me? Lucifer, can you hear us?
Unmute, dude.
I'm out of range.
No, we can't really hear you, man.
Can you know?
Yeah, we can hear you, kinda.
Okay, Lucifer looks connected.
Yeah, can you hear me? Unmute that one. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on? Whatever you're listening to us on is creating an echo feedback, so you might want to turn off whatever that other device is.
I did.
Okay. So what's on your mind, man?
I'm on here just, well, my mind goes blank whenever I'm trying to make a point sometimes. On the spot, I didn't think I was going to be the first one to talk. I've been on several other podcasts and YouTube land and stuff, and where are we going in this country, do you think?
Well,
whenever misandering can be called misogyny?
Yeah, well, so I'm specifically looking for people who are critics, who are criticizing the whatever podcast, and they want to kind of push back against it and think it's awful, et cetera, et cetera. I actually want to hear what their arguments are. So if you're here to kind of support that position, then yeah, that's not really what we're looking for in the space, but for people who want to get pushback.
Oh, well, then I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah. But, I mean, we're happy to have you as a listener. So from here, I'm going to drop you back down. Appreciate you coming on. So let me move over to some of these other people who have requested. Looks like Pedro requested. We'll bring Pedro up, see what Pedro has to say here. Pedro, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going?
Good. What's on your mind?
I want to talk about the Whatever podcast, right? That's the topic. So, people, I've seen in the comments saying that Brian, that's the host, he's just exploiting these women and bringing them up and making a mockery of them, and he is guilty of what he's accusing them, like using OnlyFans women for money. That is the narrative that's going on the Twitterverse, and it's wild to me because he's just like a journalist. He's literally showing the general public this is what's going on in the minds of these young women. Like, it's just like interviewing a freaking degenerate. That's what he's doing. It's just shedding the light to it. It's not like if the Whatever podcast doesn't exist, these same degeneracy is not going to go on. It's just going to go on without people on YouTube shining a light on it. It's been going on before the podcast. If the broadcast ends today, it's still going to go on. But what he's doing is just shining a light to it, and I think it's good. If he's making money off it, then why not? He's a journalist. It's journalism. Now, people are even defending the women on these podcasts because obviously accountability is always crazy here. They're saying that they're just innocent, just going there to promote themselves, and they get set up, and they know what they're doing. They literally know what they're doing. It's like the degeneracy is so bad in our culture that Brian brings up these women, asks them simple, basic facts about life, something an adult should know. They obviously degenerates, so they're gonna say something to the opposite of normal basic facts. They get clipped. They know they're gonna get clipped. They're gonna be embarrassed in front of millions of people. If you go on their Twitter, it gets like 2 million impressions, 5 million impressions, and they still know that the simps in our culture are still gonna follow them on their OnlyFans. That's why he's not losing guests. If our culture was somewhat positive, Brian would be losing guests because we're gonna see smart women say, "Oh, I don't want to go on that podcast to be embarrassed." But they know that the price of quote unquote any embarrassment it's worth it because you're gonna get 1,000 more simps on their OnlyFans. So they know what they're doing. They're not victims. They're actually profiting off this whatever podcast, and he's just a journalist. So the podcast should continue, man.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I have kind of some other arguments that I would bring to the forefront, but when some of the haters come in, I can tangle with them, and we'll see what's on their mind. I actually do appreciate you coming up to speak, kind of put that out there because it helps set the tone. So appreciate that. I'm going to take you down from the speaker position, get to some of the other call-ins. But thank you, man. I really appreciate that call-in. 1 second. Fat Goku with a bad knee. That's a good name. Good name. Fat Goku with a bad knee. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the last guy kind of had a similar point to mine, so I'll probably drop here soon. But it's normalization of simp behavior is really my issue with it. It's an entertaining podcast, of course, so can't knock it in terms of entertainment value here. But it normalizes simp behavior. Obviously, it drives ultimately a financial funnel to OnlyFans creators. Again, nothing against the the host, of course, and the panelists that he brings on that are curated. But that's last guy kind of got it.
Well, the last guy's point was actually the opposite of that. So the last guy was saying that this was necessary because this type of behavior would go on anyway, even if...
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. I thought this was an opposition stream here, so yeah.
Yeah, but that's what he was saying. You seem to be saying instead that that it's a promotion of simp behavior, them having the show.
Yeah. Obviously, it's outrightly disagreed with by the host, but you know what happens? These simps come into the stream, they go to the OnlyFans creators. Obviously, there's going to be a variety of watchers, but there's a reason they bring these chicks on. So,
yeah, but anything that you could cover from a journalistic standpoint, you would be drawing behavior to whatever that thing is, and so may naturally increase that thing no matter what, right? Wouldn't that apply to everything?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, that's the whole concept of no press is bad press. Absolutely.
Yeah, so is it ultimately a good thing or a bad thing that they have this podcast?
I would say ultimately it's a neutral thing. I'd say the red pill in general, men's spaces in general are a good thing. I wouldn't necessarily say the podcast itself is a good thing. It's a good thing for Brian, good thing for you, good thing for the curated guests, of course, and as well as the OnlyFans women.
Yeah, but, I don't know. This kind of begs the question a little bit. So when you say it's a neutral, your criticism seems to be that it's a funnel for OnlyFans girls. That doesn't sound like it's a neutral position. It sounds like that's a negative position.
I don't mind it for the OnlyFans girls, to be honest. That's going to happen no matter what, because there's going to be somebody taking advantage of it. It's the simp funnel that I have the issue with. So it's it's capturing simps and driving them towards the OnlyFans girls. The OnlyFans are going to find a way to promote themselves no matter what.
Yeah, but isn't it better to have this kind of thing exposed out in the light, even if a side effect of that is because you're pointing the spotlight, there could be simps who use it as a pipeline towards these girls.
Of course, yes. And I would also argue that probably happens even if it's just, for example, response channels. And it probably can be done with less without linking these chicks in the bio.
Gotcha. All right. Well, look, I appreciate the opinion. Have yourself a good day, man. I'm gonna.
Cheers, Andrew. Man. You're great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it very much. I'm going to move on to some of the other requests here. 1 second. Patchy, I'm going to bring you up. You can just kind of hang out. I already know that you just probably pretty much agree with me. So just hang tight, okay?
Me?
Yeah, Patchy.
Yeah, probably like 99%.
Yeah, so just hang tight.
Sorry, I did not mean to waste your time.
You're not wasting my time. Just hang tight, though, okay? Mute yourself. Mute yourself and hang tight while I bring up other callers, all right?
Gotcha, sir. Bye.
All right. All right, Tommy, you've been waiting patiently there. What's on your mind, man? Tommy, can you hear me? You're going to have to unmute yourself, bro.
Copy, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Copy. So my main complaint, I guess, is the same vein as the other two. Without the whatever podcast, these women who promote themselves online in terms of adult content, they not only they profit tremendously. Like some of these women even thank the host in making their pockets line with gold, essentially. So yeah, it's in the same vein as the other two fellas.
Yeah, but, you know, a lot of these women who come on, and many of them that I've talked to, some of them are already in vogue. Some of them are already multimillionaires. Many of them have funneled hundreds of thousands of dollars and are highly successful in this arena absent the whatever podcast. So are they really doing anything which is lining their pockets more than that by the whatever podcast kind of exposing what's going on there?
I think it might be good in the sense that we see the spectacle and we're able to push back against some of these women who are taking advantage of lonely men online. But ultimately, I think men need to take more responsibility in promoting them, individual men and then men like the host in promoting them.
Yeah, but I mean, they're giving push. So if I do a debate on the Crucible and it has a leftist debater and it has a right-wing debater, I allow both of them to promote their channels and promote their ideology. But that doesn't mean that I agree with their ideology. It just means that this is good decorum to have in order to have guests on your show where their ideology can be opposed. Are you saying that that's a bad thing to do for me to do, to allow a leftist to introduce his channel and tell people where they can find the channel?
I think it's I think the difference might be where Brian he lists the Instagram profiles for these women. A lot of these Instagram profiles are explicit, just borderline pornography.
Yeah, but that's just good guest etiquette, right? If you have guests on your show, they're going to want reciprocal links to their social media as they're trying to grow their social media, regardless of what their ideology is. You can't really engage with their ideology if it's not in some way promoted. So they are promoting their own ideology. That's why they're there to have a discussion, and you're promoting yours. And so it kind of becomes may the best man win, doesn't it?
Right.
Like how else could you even have this conversation without the idea that there's going to be some kind of promotion of ideology on both sides?
Okay, copy.
That's just kind of my take, but you can respond to it, bro. There's no wrong answers, just having a discussion here.
The way I see it is, I don't personally feel the host of whatever is. I mean, he says he's against these principles, but when it seems like there's a difference between intellectual and push back against leftism, but with the whatever podcast, there seems to be relationship between the host and adult content creators.
Yeah, but I mean, he would have to have those kinds of relationships in order to have guests on his program, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this kind of comes back to the question of how do you have these conversations without allowing promotion to begin with? So is it overarchingly a net good? I think it is, even if there is, which I admit readily must exist, that there's some kind of simp pipeline there. Ultimately, in order to have these guests come on to push back against your ideology, there's going to be a bit of promotion, which is allowed. I just don't think there's a way around that, man.
Right.
So I appreciate the call very much, Tommy. I'm going to drop you down. Thank you.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I give my female perspective take? Because I think I'm one of the few women who actually would defend the whatever position. And I haven't given my take on this anywhere yet.
Yeah, you can, but before you do, I have to read this super chat from Sarcastic Warlock, which says, Brian is a degen posting as a man of God. Both him and the girls are there for the same reason, to play a part and to make their money. I wouldn't care at all if Brian didn't pretend to be godly. So there's even pushback from my own chat here, right? This is pretty contentious. But remember, leftists are going hard at the Whatever podcast, and that should be taken into consideration too. Anyway, go ahead, Rachel.
Yeah, so my main defense of it would be, regardless of what you think of Brian personally, although I don't agree with the take that he's like secretly a degen who's into this stuff and he really, is actually pro OnlyFans and he just pretends not to be. I don't believe that because, we've chatted with him quite a bit. But aside from that, I think, people look around at society and everybody goes, oh, this is terrible. Look how bad everything is. And they go,
they can't
what do we do
hear
about
me.
it? How can we turn the tide?
I muted
and
myself on their end.
The tide is not going to turn from, and this is such a stupid thing that so many
This way I can talk to this chat directly too.
Conservatives will say, you just don't give them attention.
Testing Tolerance says Brian's not degenerate. I agree.
Everybody going, well, just don't pay attention to it. If you just ignore it and you starve them of the attention, it'll go away. That did not happen. That's absurd. That's not how things work. Certainly not with social media. And what I think will turn the tide is shaming this kind of behavior. Shaming sluttiness, hoeing, prostitution, pornography. You shame it, you mock it, you drag it out into the light, you beat it about the head and shoulders, and show everybody how stupid it is, how bad it is, what it does to these women. What
if you guys want to jump in on the Twitter space,
they end up becoming
you
when
can
they
hop
choose
in
to do
on Twitter.
sex work.
Go to my profile. I'm posting it right
now. The minute they turn 18, the OnlyFans goes up, right? How on earth do people think we're going to combat this if we just go, you know what? I'm just not going to pay any attention to it because that's promoting it. Listen, OnlyFans has millions of dollars worth of marketing. They're everywhere. Everyone knows about it. These girls have huge social media accounts. Even if they have a small social media account, it's not like they blow up after going on whatever. That's not what I've seen. It's usually the girls who were already big who will just see a bump from it. But the more important thing is shaming the clips. This is one of the big things that people object to. Well, but it's so mean. You're making the women look dumb. You're making them look bad. It's like, yeah, that's the point. We want that. That's a good thing. It's not mean. If you're going to put your vajay out there for $8.99 a month, then I don't think you have a right to privacy. I don't think you have a right to say, I shouldn't be publicly criticized. No. If you're going to put your butthole on the internet, I'm going to have words with you on a podcast, and I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to make your position look bad. I'm going to just absolutely blow you out of the water. And then every young girl who watches this is going to go, oh, shoot, I don't want to be that girl who just got shamed into oblivion in front of the whole world by this based lady or by this based Andrew guy. Nobody wants to be like the elephant in the room or the Kool-Aid man who have been made famous through clips of you, putting them to the question. So if you want to turn this around, you have to shame the behavior. To get women to change their behavior, that's the main thing you do. You shame it, you make it look stupid, you mock it, and then girls don't want to be that thing anymore. But as long as it's glorified, and the only promotion and the only part of it you see is this like, oh, look at the glamorous lifestyle I have because I'm an OnlyFans girl. I can afford all these things and I have this luxurious lifestyle. Look at my Tesla I just bought with my OnlyFans money. That would be the only other part of it that people really see. So that's how I would defend it, just by saying, yeah, it's our opportunity to shame it into oblivion and make it embarrassing, make it uncool, make it absolutely shameful, make it a pariah to be an OnlyFans girl. So
Okay,
that's
hang on.
hot take.
We have some people waiting in the background here. Let me bring them up. Also, Cozy, thank you for becoming Crucible Commander. Appreciate that very much, man. Appreciate the great donations today. JD Trace, I think, is how that's said. Can you hear me okay?
I need to get closer.
You're going to have to unmute yourself, man.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's on your mind?
Andrew Wilson, why are you acting like we need OnlyFans chicks on the show to speak on OnlyFans?
Well, because it provides an expose on what it is that is actually running through these women's minds. I think it's useful for society, especially for a lot of the people who don't even know that this is going on.
Even if we didn't put these chicks' Instagrams in the bio, they would still come on the show because they're thirsty for attention.
Yeah, I mean, is just the criticism that the Instagram links are there, do you think that that's a barrier for entry, that if people wanted to sub to these women's channels, they just wouldn't because there's no reciprocal link to their Instagram, or do you think that they would find them?
That's a very big part. I don't think we would know half of these chicks, well, most of these chicks, if their Instagram wasn't in the bio.
Well, I think you would, because I think they would just say who they were on the show and where you could find them anyway.
Well, plus, Brian complains all the time about how he's tired of OnlyFans chicks on the show, but he keeps bringing them on.
Well, he does bring on OnlyFans women, but he brings on a mixture of women. And the whole point of having the contention is he seems to be wanting to pit the worldview of both trad women, simps and non-simps, trad men, and political ideologies in between to give their takes on what's going on with the current pornography culture in the country. Don't you think that that's extremely valuable?
Of course there's value. But what we're talking about is he porn friendly. He literally promoted a sex toy on his podcast.
Well, I mean, am I leftist friendly? Because I allow leftists to come on and debate and allow them to promote their platforms. Isn't that necessary in order for you to have the ideology of that guest come on in the first place? That's the point, right?
That's not the same thing. That's like you promote leftist ideology for some money. That's what it is.
Well,
he got paid to promote sex toys.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand that criticism. But again, ultimately, most of these women who come on who already have these massive, large, intact OnlyFans channels, they're in the top tier or the top, 5, 3, or 1%. They're already loaded to the gills. They're rich as could be. Whatever few simps funnel through the pipeline to them, I think is worth it in the comparison of the thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions who see their ideology challenged in just how absurd it really is. Don't you agree?
We already know these hoes are dumb, man. We don't need them on a podcast to tell them that.
Anyway, you know that. You know that. But there's literally thousands upon thousands of people, maybe hundreds of thousands, who don't know that. For instance, I get DMs from people all over the world almost every day saying, I can't fucking believe that these women actually believe this. They actually had no idea that this was even going on.
Wait, can I say something?
Yeah.
You go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, this might not be super relevant, but yeah, I used to be like really, I wasn't a leftist, I was just apolitical, but I wasn't just magically brought into politics. I saw like clips of people, and then I found media.
Hang on. You're gonna have to shut up because Pearl Davis is here and requested to.
Wait, what?
I said you're gonna have to be quiet because Pearl's here and she wants to pop on for a second.
Shit.
So mute yourself for a minute, okay, bro? Pearl, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hi.
Hi. How's life treating you?
Oh, it's good. It's good. How's life treating you?
Oh, same. Just living the dream. Give us your take. Give us your take here on this. Why is the left mobilizing so heavily against the Whatever podcast? I see it everywhere. I see that you are tangling up with various people over this. I see that you're very tangling up with even the supposed trad girls on this. What the hell's going on, Pearl?
I don't know. Okay, so the whatever thing, the one thing you guys should take into account is under 35. I had Dr. David Baker run the numbers for me when they include women that are on campsites, women that do sugaring, women that escort, women that are on OnlyFans. And he said a conservative estimate is that 10% of women under 35 are on OnlyFans or are on some sort of sex work. And that number is not going to decrease. If I had to guess in the next 10 years, it will increase and not decrease. And for someone that's actually recruited and like done the job that he's doing, it's like, where do you not find an OnlyFans chick? Especially in these big cities, good luck. They are everywhere, and it's not always the chicks that you'd expect. I'll have girl next door, average chicks. I find out they're on sugar sites. It's like,
Keep those super
goddamn,
chats
they're
coming. I'm going to read
everywhere
them all.
now.
I'm going to read every super chat you send in.
Second thing, it really irritates me when people act like grown women are somehow being manipulated or don't have free will into giving their opinions on a podcast. Because, I went on that show, and I didn't drink, and if there was questions I didn't want to answer, I just said I'd rather not answer that. And he moves on. Brian's a pretty nice guy. He's a nice host. So I don't know why the right and the left is like freaking out over Brian hosting adult women on his show. Like at 25, you can't make a decision. I think I think the more, you treat women like spoiled brats, the more they're going to act like spoiled brats. So I think, if you make a decision to go on the show and you go viral because you act like an idiot, it's your own fault.
No, I read all the super chats. Yeah, well, so kind of diving into this, I noticed, do you think that there's some truth to the fact, and this is a criticism that I've heard kind of levied from a bunch of people who enjoy the podcast, that the left is mostly mobilizing against it because they can't figure out a way to use it to make themselves look good?
Yeah, possibly. I just think that whenever...
That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah.
I mean, they generally don't like anything they can't manipulate to promote their side of the propaganda.
I just think the women are looking too stupid. They don't know what to do. They're like, no, they're infants. And then Brian's like, well, they're 25. And then they're like, well,
yeah, this is interesting that
hard questions.
Yeah, it is interesting that one of the big things that they kind of seem to want to propagate here is that these women are infants and are incapable. They're infantilizing them, right? They're saying these stupid infant women have no business going on to this show. Where they're being exploited because, well, they're stupid. You should get kind of these smarter, sophisticated leftist women on. But Pearl, there really aren't that many smart, sophisticated leftist women, are there?
No. Wait. Oh my gosh. It's like we look for them. Do you guys understand how hard it is to get chicks to like recruit for these podcasts? It's not easy. And honestly, you hear the same talking points from women of all social classes, all backgrounds. Like even women that maybe aren't necessarily on OnlyFans have normal jobs. They repeat a ton of the feminist propaganda. Like, and I'll get this from mothers, like, I'll get this from housewives. Like, even, I had a family friend the other day. I'm home. I don't live in the middle of nowhere, but more rural, I would say. And, this housewife is telling me that, like, women's bodies don't need to be sexualized if they get naked. I'm like, what are you talking about? And this is a housewife. And she's not
wait,
even
what? What?
Yeah, because we have these, like, there's, like, pictures of these, like, athletic women that are, like, naked. They did some shoot. And she was saying, like, oh, you shouldn't sexualize naked women in a shoot. And she's not even necessarily like slutty. She doesn't dress like that, but they just repeat the feminist propaganda. So yeah, good luck. I really want to see some of these people recruit and actually do the show, and let me know what you go on to find out.
Yeah, before they criticize, you mean? Absolutely. So
Yeah.
everybody's a critic, but almost nobody is a doer. Pearl, I don't know if you have places that you have to be, but do you mind hanging out for a second and bring up some more callers who are obviously irritated with me about this whatever thing?
Yeah, I could stay up for about 5 more minutes, then I have to hop on a call.
All right, hang on. Sigma Female, Lav, you're up. Go ahead. You can unmute yourself when you're ready. I'm pretty sure I just brought you up. What's going on here? Can you hear me? Can any of you hear me? Okay.
It looks like she's still a listener
Yeah,
on my end.
I don't.
So if she wants to talk, maybe she has to request again. I don't know.
Yeah, hop out and then come in to request. I see Jay Dyer's in the space. Jay, would you like to pop up for just a minute and kind of give your take on this? Give me the thumbs up if you would. Or the thumbs down if you wouldn't. We'll go ahead and invite him to speak. If he wants to pop up, he can. And then let me look at some of the other requests here. Okay, there we go.
While you're doing that, I just want to say one thing.
Hang on. I think
that...
we got Lab in. Lab, can you hear us now? Can you unmute yourself?
I can.
Okay, go ahead if you have some pushback. I'm sure you do. What's your criticism here?
Yeah, well, firstly, let me say that I'm very ill right now, so I'm not as quick as I usually am, if you could even grant me
Catching all those OnlyFans diseases, Lav.
Yeah, yes, I'm catching all the OnlyFans diseases. No, I think I have COVID. But basically, what I think is kind of degenerate, or at least what is immoral about what Brian does, is that it's not only the OnlyFans girls that he's bringing on, he's also just bringing in random women from the local college, which is very strange to me. I don't know if you recently saw the episode where he gets the, his like, the teenager that he gets to sit behind him and make, like, porny ahigo faces, but he just brought in, like, her family, and they talked about, like, her body count in front of her dad. Like, it's just completely degenerate.
That girl,
and like,
wait. That girl works for the show.
By sitting in the back and making, like, porn faces, I just don't know how much that's sex work.
That's not sex work. That you're talking about that Asian chick, right?
Yeah, that's who she's talking about. Yeah,
that's pretty much sex work.
That is not sex work. I think she'd find it really offensive if you called her.
I don't care what she finds offensive. No, she sits behind him and makes ahigo.
Hang on. Sigma Female, let her finish, and then we'll move over to you.
But it's what is true. What is true? If she's not a sex worker, she's not a sex worker. She doesn't sell sex.
Then what is the point of a young woman sitting behind
Brian
and all of that?
Let me finish. She works around the show.
Yeah, I can explain. Yeah, I can actually explain what her function is because I asked her while I was there. So what happens is sometimes people fail to show up. In fact, this happens all the time because they book, 7, 8, 9, 10 people at a time. You know this. You were there in the studio, how small it actually is. In order to get those camera shots, they don't want to see empty chairs and they want to see proper spacing. So one of the functions that she has, and you'll see this often, is she will fill the empty chair. That's one thing that she does. She also helps with the studio setup. She also helps with all sorts of different things. She's definitely an employee of the show. And it kind of makes sense to have a woman who can fill in if necessary on the spot. So
sure, but that's not bringing up the fact that in a lot of the broadcast, she's sitting behind Brian while all the seats are full, and she's making ahigo faces. I don't know if you know what ahigo faces are. At the camera behind Brian. That is like
because it's hilarious.
And then he's brought up. It's not hilarious.
Yeah, she's making fun of him. She's making fun of him. She's literally making fun of him. Come on.
Can I just understand your logic? I just want to understand your logic. A woman making a face is sex work.
Do you know what? Do you know what the concept of a higo is, Pearl?
No. I want a girl making a. I've been on the show. I know
Okay,
what she
so
does.
if
She
you
sits-
can't answer my question,
What is
No,
it?
no,
we
no,
can't
no.
have this discussion.
Do you think a woman making a face is the same thing as sex work?
Do you know what an ahigo face is, Pearl?
Why don't you answer my question?
If
And
a
then-
woman
and then-
is making... Yeah, let me answer it, babe. If a woman is making a series of pornified faces that are well known in anime communities and pornified male communities as sexual faces, and she's sitting there and all the comments are just talking about how cute and hot she is constantly, yes, I think that is a form of sex work.
So,
and I think in good faith,
Hang on, let her
you would
respond,
too,
Lav. Let her
if it was
respond.
the right
Lav.
person.
Hey, let her respond now.
Okay, so I want to repeat it. You think that a woman making a face is the same thing as sex work?
I think in some cases, a woman making a face can be sex work, yeah.
I just didn't realize that women were this retarded. No, that is not sex work.
Well, I mean, listen.
I've never seen Maddie make the
baffled me.
face.
Seeing you on the timeline baffles me.
Does Maddie?
I think that women aren't that retarded.
Let me make sure I don't make the wrong face on screen.
Yeah, well, not only that, but if you're mocking, so Lav, let me ask you this: if you're mocking it, if that's the point, is
It's
to
not, Andrew. It's not mocking.
okay,
I
but
think,
let me finish.
listen,
Let me finish.
I think I can
hang
tell
on,
the
hang on. Let
difference.
me finish. I'll let you respond. I always do. Okay. If you're making a mocking face, and I think that I can tell the difference too. And having met this chick, I know for sure because I've talked with her, and she says that she enjoys mocking these people. So if they're making kind of the mocking face, but men can sexualize that because some men can sexualize anything. They sexualize like knees. They sexualize all kinds of shit. That's still not sex work. The sex work has an intent behind it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
really.
So do you think that this is
Wait,
I
have
honestly.
I have a question. How old are you?
Okay, go ahead and.
How old are you? I have to go in a second. I'm just curious. How old are you?
I'm 25 years old, Pearl.
Yeah, I just find that it's always.
Dang it,
older-
your age changed again, Lav.
I know.
You're
I
like 27
grow up.
now.
I grow up.
Then you get younger, and then you get older.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
I thought you said you were like 27 now.
What?
Me and you have had to talk about your age like 10 times.
She's just mad that girl gets more sexual attention than she does. Like, I would not call her a sex worker. I gotta go.
All right. See
But-
you later,
but-
Pearl.
Okay. But
Bye, Pearl.
Bye.
All right, Lav. Go
Wait,
ahead.
what?
Sorry.
Wait, first of all, I'm confused because I'm 25, engaged to be married, and haven't ever fucked a black guy. And she wants to talk about degeneracy? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
Are you saying that having sex with black men is degenerate?
To people with her worldview, absolutely. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you talking about? How?
You want to talk about race science in here, Andrew? I don't think you're gonna like
Her
that.
worldview does not. What are you talking about? What worldview do you think
We're
she
talking-
ascribes
This is what I think. I think that Pearl has become very disenchanted with men because she's only dated black men, and so she takes it out on the whole world. Whatever. We don't need to talk about Pearl. She's not here anymore.
She well,
And
none of
especially
that's
now I can talk-
true.
now I
She
can
hasn't.
speak without
She
her.
hasn't
Now I can
only.
speak without her
Wait,
interrupting me, asking me about my age.
well, wait a
I'm like,
second.
How old is she?
Wait a second. She hasn't only done that. That's ridiculous. Why would you say that?
Wait, why would I say what?
That she's only dated black men. That's not true.
Well, she's only publicly dated black men.
No, that's not even true. Just making it up as you go. Where
Okay,
on
so
earth did you
has
come
she
up
had a
with
pu-
this?
Wait, publicly has she had a white boyfriend?
What does that have to do with anything?
I think that she generally keeps that stuff and whatever her dating is to herself, but definitely,
Well,
yeah.
publicly,
Yeah, definitely.
what we know-
yes,
what we know
definitely
of
she
her
has.
is that
Yes.
she
The
had a
answer is
black
yes.
boyfriend.
The answer is yes, she has.
Yeah.
She has had yes. I don't
That's
understand.
probably why. That's probably why she's unmarried.
Why I don't what is the
What is that
argument that you're bringing to bear here? What is the ideology that you think that Pearl
She
ascribes
ruined her
to?
sexual marketplace value by race mixing.
Okay, well, look, I'm not going to get into this on YouTube. That's ridiculous on its face. But If you want to, I mean, is that what you believe?
What do you mean? Why else would she not be married?
Well, I mean, is your husband going to lower his value by marrying a Jewish woman?
No. First of all, Jewish women are top tier. Jewish women are top tier.
No, but it's mixing, Lav. It's mixing,
jabs?
isn't it? Mixing.
All the men in here know about the jabs. All the men in here know about the jabs.
Yeah.
We're
okay.
a beautiful people. We're a beautiful, big, full-bodied, breasted people. And we're very high IQ. That's what you want to give to your offspring. But
yeah, you sound like you have a lot of IQ.
Going back now. So I don't know if you're aware of this. Maybe it's because I'm a Zoomer. Maybe it's because I was in the porn world for as long as I was. But there are certain faces that are made in anime or hentai or manga that are very pornified faces. And yes, I have seen her mock a lot of these women on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also seen her make these overtly sexualized faces. She shows up to the broadcast wearing very revealing clothing. She, again, listen, even if she doesn't think that that's what she's doing, and I don't think that this is the same thing as being a porn star, obviously. I think that sex work is on, like, a scale in the same way that, like, a model does a form of sex work, like a bikini model does a form of sex work. Obviously, that's not the same thing as porn. There are levels to this. But I think certainly what she's doing is capitalizing, and Brian also is capitalizing off of her youthful, beautiful nature, which I think, to some extent, can be a form of sex work. And,
wait, hang on, 1 point at a time. So, before we get into too much of a gish gallo. Your point here is that because men sexualize her on that podcast, that therefore her sexual nature is being exploited by the podcast.
Because Brian knows it, yes.
Yeah, but, okay, so couldn't you say that about literally any form of a podcast that could have an attractive woman who's on it, who has a fan base?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, so don't you think that criticism kind of falls short? Because
I think that it's still.
Yeah, well, you're just saying that if you know that men will sexualize, then women can't have any media presence.
No, I'm saying that first of all, we come from different worldviews. I think that because of where women exist on a sexual subjugation scale, there's always going to be an air of that. It's why Rachel wears makeup when she goes on a public appearance. It's because she needs to look presentable. She wants to look beautiful. She's treated better. Right? You're more likely to be treated better as a woman.
You're more likely to be treated better as a man if you look better, too.
Sure, but it's obviously, that it's different for women.
Well, I don't know, Lav. I often feel very sexualized, and somehow I can still get through the day.
I'm not saying that being sexualized is even inherently a negative thing. I'm just saying it's a neutral thing that exists.
Yeah, I don't know. The point seems to fall short because it's just a criticism that you could lay broadly against anybody who has any female co-host or is in any way even moderately attractive. So in that case, whatever's definitely not doing anything different than almost every conservative or progressive outlet which exists by allowing, any young attractive women to be there. But there doesn't seem to be any form of sexual exploitation unless you make a real stretch.
Well, that's not my biggest criticism I just think that that's one aspect of degeneracy. I think that also bringing on women who don't know what they're getting into, there's two things happening.
How do they, wait, stop. What do you mean they don't know what they're getting into? This show has millions of subscribers. The clips are viral constantly. You think that they just don't know what's going on?
Well, this is what I was about to say, is there's a bunch of people, there's different types of people who come on. One, they're just people from the local colleges because he records in a college town. So people have heard of it. Maybe they've seen even a couple things go viral, but they don't really understand the concept of the show. Maybe they've never seen a full show. They've just seen a clip of it.
Yeah, but that's going to be the exception, not the rule.
It's also very hard to imagine human nature. It's hard to imagine what it's like to go viral for saying something stupid, right? So, of course, mistakes are made.
Yeah, but why do those women then? Why? Hang on. This actually, we got to go a point at a time. No, we've got to go. We've only got to go a point at a time. Otherwise, you end up making 4 points.
You stop me in the middle of.
I have to stop you in the middle of a point in order to address the point. So I will still man this point, okay, to make sure that I don't get it wrong. Your claim here is that, wait a second, because people, women in this case, or men, doesn't matter, they probably don't even understand the negative side effects of what a viral clip that makes them look stupid is going to do to them. That's your claim. Am I right about that?
Yeah, do you think that that's
okay?
A descriptive
So
or
now,
prescriptive claim?
let me respond to it. Well, I'm arguing with the descriptive claim. Even the descriptive claim here, I don't think is true because most of these women have these viral clips and then fucking come back.
I don't think that that's true.
That is true. It is true. In fact,
but again, this is why you need to let me finish my
Kiko
points.
comes back. Well, wait, we're on 1 point. Right, so you can't gish gallop and evade. Kiko came back. Nala came back. All these different people came back to the show after these viral clips came
Andrew,
out.
why are you scared to let me finish a point?
Why are you scared to let me address one? Why are you scared to let me address a point? Instead, I have to let you gish gallop. We're on a single point. Let's get the point out, so that you can't move away from the point over and over and over. So to respond to this, they come back on the show. Can you respond to that criticism?
So wait, the criticism that you're making that you don't think that it's true.
Yeah, I'm saying that your descriptive claim is false, and my evidence for this is that they come back even after these viral clips, making them look stupid.
Your evidence
come
is
out.
Anecdotal, just as mine.
No,
is, so
no,
mine's
not anecdotal. Mine's not anecdotal. I'm giving you evidence.
Oh, so you have statistical evidence showing that
it doesn't
all
need
of
to
the women
wait,
who
wait,
embarrass
wait.
themselves come on.
It doesn't
come
need.
Back on.
It doesn't need to be.
Okay, so neither does mine.
It doesn't need to be empirical in
So
that
neither does
sense.
mine.
Hang on. In that sense, it is still empirical to say though that they come back on, so the criticism falls short.
Sure, and do you not think that a part of that is to prove themselves that they're like not retarded? Of course, we see celebrities do this all the time. They beg for forgiveness. They try to come on. That's human nature, anyway. And also, let me finish the rest of my point. Is that there are certainly women who come on just looking to promote and don't even care what they look like or whatever. But Brian also, I don't know if you know anyone who hasn't been asked to go on, but I'm someone who wasn't asked to go on. I was someone who wanted to go on. So what they do is they make you, and I can send this to you, they make you fill out like a questionnaire basically, and I'm sure that Brian chooses the most retarded and vivacious out of the fucking bunch. And these women like it. Again, I'm not even anti whatever podcast. I
Okay,
like
hang
that
on.
the
One
medium
point.
exists.
So let's start with your point of they have to fill out some paperwork before they come on. And so your point here is I'm certain that
Wait,
Brian.
also, have you seen?
Let me
have you
finish,
seen the
Lav.
questionnaire?
Let me finish. Yes, I have.
Do you know that it says to dress like it's gonna be hot in a club? What do you think that sounds like, Andrew?
Well, so it says you can, or that people enjoy that. It doesn't say that you must. There's no must. There's no entailment for must, and that's also
need to be a must.
Lav, I'm answering to your question. Okay. It doesn't say that you have to do this. What's going on? What's going on is you're framing it as though that is said when it's not said. Not only that, when you're talking about the questionnaire itself that you're filling out to come on, you make kind of this bold claim that he's only selecting out of people who send those questionnaires in.
I didn't make that bold claim.
You did. Your exact words were,
no, I didn't.
This is why I stop you on every point. Your exact words here were I'm sure Brian's only selecting the ones that he thinks are going to be the dumbest or the most ridiculous. Those were your exact words.
Well, that's actually, you even got my adjectives wrong. I said retarded and vivacious.
Okay, so then you did say it.
But no, I definitely made the implication that I think that that's what he has to be doing for views, but I don't think that that's even...
And you have zero evidence. Yeah, you have zero evidence for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
This whole all we're doing, Andrew, me and you are making anecdotal claims about the same person. So... you can give your opinion, and I'm allowed to give mine. I haven't asked you for empirical data about your anecdotal thoughts about Brian.
You can make this.
So
hang on. You can make.
Mine is very silly.
This is insane. So, if you witness a murder, that's an anecdotal claim. But does that mean that you should not be taken seriously, or your witness should not be taken seriously?
Honestly, watching the whatever podcast is sort of like witnessing a murder.
Yeah,
And
you're
that
not
it is
answering.
degenerate and
You're not
harmful to
answering. You're not
society.
answering to the question. So to answer to the question, should you be dismissed because it's anecdotal? You don't have empirical evidence. That's
yeah,
it.
someone.
That's
Yeah,
not the
and someone cannot
standard.
go to jail based on witness testimony.
Yes, they can.
Not on just witness testimony.
Yes.
No, they can't.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't.
They can.
There's no way you actually think this.
I not only think it, but it's true that you can go to jail just based on
Andrew.
witness testimony. Yes, you
No, you
can.
can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Why do you think you can't? Show me the
Because
law that
that's not
says.
how the American
Show me.
law
Show
works,
me. Show me. Show me that you can't go to jail based on
There
eyewitness
needs to-
testimony.
You go to jail beyond a reasonable doubt, which means that you have to have at least a couple other forms of evidence.
Nope.
If some person just comes up to you and says, no, this didn't happen, or no, this did happen, that is not the deciding factor of whether or not you go to jail, Andrew.
It
Come the
can, yeah.
fuck
All
on.
you have to do
Be
is
for real.
demonstrate,
Be for
and I'm
real.
being for real. So all you have to do is demonstrate to a jury that the eyewitness testimony is credible enough to be beyond reasonable doubt. That's it. You can indeed, and people have, gone to jail many, many, many times just based on eyewitness testimony, absent any other compelling evidence. I mean, many times in the justice system this has happened. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. I don't even... Andrew, I don't even know how to fight this. That's not how people go to jail. I don't even know what to say.
It is, and it does happen all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, you know what? I have the ego death. Sorry, I'm eating a fry. I have the ego death to concede to this. I don't even care that much about it. But with the whatever podcast, bringing it back because you love to just go all over the place during a debate. This is like your entire mode of operation. Is just like
I go one point at a time. Don't let you gish gallop.
No,
It upsets
don't
you
even
because
let-
anytime I pin you on a point, you get
don't
destroyed
even
on
let
it.
someone finish a point, and that's how you.
You've
end up
talked
winning
more
with
than I've
stupid
talked,
people.
Laugh.
I'm above it, Andrew.
You've
You
talked
can't
more
do it
than
to
I've
me.
talked, Laugh.
Well, maybe that's true, but I just have more to say generally.
Yeah, I know, because you want to gish gallop around, and when I pin you on a point, you get wrecked on the point. That's
What
why
have
you want to
pinned
gish
me
gallop.
and wrecked me on, Andrew?
Every
What are you
point
talking
thus
about?
far
Are we
that you've
living in
made.
parallel universes?
We must be, because what's happened here is that every single time we actually draw down on an actual point that you're making, where you don't just kind of spurg all over the place, you can never make a defensible case for what it is that you're
spurging.
saying. This is very common for left-wing debaters, by the way. It's why they hate me, because I drill in on a single point.
I can't.
Lab thinks
fuck are
that
you talking about?
sarcasm is like supporting evidence for her argument, to be fair.
What do you? Okay, so let me be okay, because maybe I'm confused here. What do you think my argument is?
I think that your argument, well, you've made multiple, but I'll steal man kind of each in a row. The first argument that you made was that Brian recruits locally, and most of the time these women don't even know what they're getting into. That was false.
Did I say most of the time?
Yeah, you did say most of the time, yeah.
No, I didn't.
And not only that,
No, I didn't.
you said, and then backed away from the claim that you're sure.
Nope, didn't back away from it.
You're
Still
sure.
believe that
you're-
there are some
hang
women
on,
that he
hang
brings
on.
on.
Do you
that
do
have
you
no
want me to
idea
steel
what
man
they're
them
getting into.
one at a time or no?
See, this is why you win debates, is because you frame them incorrectly, Andrew.
Yeah, you can go after the steel man. That's fine, but at least let me make the steel man. So the second steel man to your argument was that when he gets these different questionnaires in, you're sure, and this is what you said, you're sure that what he does is he selects for, whatever the most provocative or whatever, however you framed that. But that is what you said.
Do you think I stated that as opinion or fact?
Well, I think that you wanted to lead people into the idea that this is what was going on, even if it was stated as an opinion. I think that that's
By
the
backing
entailment that you
Whatever podcast,
wanted.
do you want to lead people into thinking that you're right about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice concession. Okay, what else?
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? The concession. So what I'm doing is making sure that the framing is correct, and that you're not able to lead people down to this untrue statement. So at least the statements I'm trying
This
to make are
untrue
true.
statement of opinion?
Yeah. Your opinion, does it have any truth claim to it at all?
Well, here's the thing. This is also about, what I said about Pearl, is that, I said this a matter of opinion, but also there's truth to it, is that dating a black man ruins
Okay,
your
dude,
sexual marketplace
I'm not
value.
getting into that. So, if you want to talk about
There's
that,
obviously a level of truth
yeah,
to
if you
it,
want
but
to
it's
talk
also an
about that while
opinion,
I'm
right?
on YouTube, I got to drop you from the stream, Lav. You think you can handle to not being a groiper for 5 minutes, or?
A groiper?
Yeah.
Holy, can you be a Jewish woman and groiper?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to actually have a productive conversation or no?
I'm trying to, Andrew.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I'll behave from now on.
Yeah. So anyway, back to what we were saying. These are your criticisms here kind of fall short. You also tried to say that it was the Asian chick who works for the podcast, that she's somehow sexually provocative and her sexuality is being exploited because she makes goofy faces, which I thought was also an insane claim. When we drilled in on that claim, we find out...
Because you don't understand Ahigo?
Yeah, we find out... No, I do understand what that is.
Oh?
Yeah.
Very familiar? Or just
Well, no,
tangentially?
I ran into it because they had that chick Nala and she explained it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
so, but what she's doing is making fun of that. So, and obviously making fun of that.
It was before Nala ever came on the podcast.
Yeah, that
This
doesn't mean that
little
she's
girl
not
was doing it.
Yeah, so
Also,
she's
how
still
do you feel-
familiar.
how do
What
you
does that
feel
have
about
to
the
do
young
with
Asian
anything?
girl?
Wait, what does her going on the podcast later have to do with this chick's familiarity with that? That makes no sense, Laugh.
Wait, okay, so her doing Ahego faces even without Nala coming on, let's say that Nala just doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
It's still just making fun of Ahego?
Yeah, they're making fun of it, sure.
Actionably, do you think that that's any different? Do you think
Yeah, do
making
you think
fun of
that
porn
Nala's
stars
the
by doing
only
porn
Do you think
is
that
not porn anymore?
Do you think that Nala's the only one who's done that, and do you think that it's pornography for her to make fun of it? That's insane. If
that's
she was making
not
fun of
the
it
same
by
I made,
taking
babe.
if she was taking her clothes off to do porn to own the porn stars, you would have a point, but making fun of the faces? Yeah, I don't think so.
So let's say if you dressed up as like a kawaii girl to make fun of kawaii girls and men are still getting the same thing from it, is it actionably any different?
Well, in that particular case, probably not. But that has nothing
Yeah,
to do.
so Ahego
yeah,
probably
but
is
you're making a false dichotomy comparison. Making fun.
That actually wasn't a false dichotomy.
It is a false
comparison.
dichotomy because in the one case, what they're doing, you're saying if you do porn to own the porn star, or if you're taking off clothes in order to make fun of the people who are taking off clothes, you're actually engaged in the same activity they are. Yeah,
so
but you're
by
not
making fun of
engaging.
Ahego by doing Ahego,
No,
you're engaging in the same
you're not. You're not actually. So in that particular,
why?
because in that particular case, what you're doing is you're not engaged in the same activity of the intent, trying to be provocative towards the idea. So this is no different
now with
yeah.
sex work.
Yeah, of course. Well, intent always matters with sex work. Intent matters
Okay.
with everything.
Okay, I just disagree with this. So I guess that's where the debate ends there. I don't think that intent matters when you're doing something sexualized that people can jerk their genitals to. But
Well, I mean, then basically every single woman who any man ever sexualizes who's on the mainstream is doing something wrong.
well, wrong. I wouldn't even. So you make the argument that it's wrong. I think that being
Or is it,
sexual
well, fine, then they're all
very
doing
normal
sex
and human.
work. Then they're all doing sex work, Lav. That's the logical entailment of your position.
I think that any woman who makes her platform about sex is probably engaging in sex work.
Yeah,
to
but
some
that's not
degree.
what your argument is. Your argument
That
is
was my
that
argument,
nope.
actually.
Your argument is that if you're in any
Let
way
me tell
being
you
an
right now that
attractive
is my
and
argument,
and
Andrew.
provocative,
And
yeah,
I'm
but
not
it's
gonna let
not. You can
discount it and
reframe.
take
Well,
it
you're
from
just
me.
reframing it, but that is what the entailment of your argument is. So I'm just letting you know whether you like
Thank
it or
you for
not.
telling me the entailment. Can you spell entailment for me, Andrew?
Yeah, it's spelled like this: ENTAIL. Fuck you. It's spelled like that.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it.
I think it is. I think it is. But anyway, I appreciate the call in, Lav. I'll let you go. Have a good day. And I'll bring up some of the other speakers who might be critical here. 1 second. Real Smith, you've been waiting in the background. What's on your mind? Can you hear me okay? You're going to have to unmute yourself.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
All right. That was real frustrating call to listen to. Like, a juego, like, you have to reframe it as either it's sex work or it's not, just to avoid saying it's sexual. Like, what the fuck? Like, both you and Pearl, like, sound retarded.
Okay, so what's the argument?
Okay, I just need to get that off of my chest before I very frustrating. Whatever doesn't need to be deplatformed, any leftists saying that it should are insane. It's a stupid thing leftists do. Brian literally has a sex doll on the set. He tells them that they can dress like they're in a hot club. The show is all about shaming these women, just like your co-host just said. It's all about shaming them.
Good.
But it's not that. But that they go on to be shamed because some people were coming on here earlier to say that it's like the simp pipeline. No, it's the hate pipeline. It's they get a shit ton of like people that hate women to go onto their OnlyFans and hate jerk off to them. That's how they're making their money. That's what's happening. It's not turning men into simps. It's turning men into incel losers who don't know how to talk to women. Because they think women are all these fucking insane OnlyFans girls that literally go and perform this retarded bimbo performance to make men hate them and then get all these hate views.
Well, then how come these women, most of them, are so highly successful and rich prior to the fact that they go on the whatever podcast?
I don't know. It has nothing to do with what I'm just saying.
It does.
I'm talking about what happens on the whatever.
Hang on. I just
podcast.
let you talk. Are you going to let me respond or no?
I was talking about what happens on.
Yeah, that's nice. Are you going to let me respond or not? So, to respond to the claim, so that you know, you're saying that these already rich women, that it's creating a pipeline to people to go and hate jerk off to them. That's kind of what your point is here. Right? But why do they need to do that and make themselves look stupid if they're already multimillionaires or make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month not doing that?
I don't know. Why don't you ask them? I would assume they're probably already.
Well, I'm asking you because it's your claim.
Because the majority, you're asking me to pontificate onto why they're doing that. So
it's your claim. So I'm trying to see if it's sound, if it even makes sense.
My claim was about what's happening on the whatever podcast. You're asking me a secondary question, which
is the motivation to go on the podcast to begin with. That happens on the podcast, right?
To promote their OnlyFans. Anybody that's a major OnlyFans creator, porn star, whatever the fuck you want to call them, they know that the majority of men that fucking subscribe to them hate them and they hate women, and they
don't know that. You're just making that up. Demonstrate it. Demonstrate that that's true. That's just made up bullshit. You're just making it up as you go.
So you think that the majority of these men, like these women that are making like hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s a month, like on OnlyFans, you think that like the majority of the men that are giving them money like are actually simps and in love with them and shit?
I think for the most part, yeah.
Well, I disagree.
But give me the evidence for the disagreement.
No, most of them hate them.
Give me the evidence for the disagreement.
No, I mean, give me evidence.
Okay, so here's the evidence that I can give you. So here's the evidence. I'll give you the evidence to the counter. I've talked to these women, right? I've talked to many of these women. They make the claim the opposite direction, both on camera and off camera, that these men come in and simp for them and absolutely adore them. They're not there to hate them at all.
Yes, men do that, but the big money is in the hate viewers, the hate people.
Okay, well, I just offered you my evidence.
That is bullshit.
Well, I just offered you. Hang on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
If you people off, Andrew, you would not have a channel.
Yeah, but anyway, so let me finish what I was saying. Yes, I would. I'm a great political analyst, whether I'm pissing people off or not. But that aside, and by the way, for the most part, at the beginning of the channel, the content did not revolve around me at all. It revolved around other people. It was still a successful channel. You don't know what you're talking about. But that aside, back to this, I just gave you evidence for my claim from the source's mouth. From the mouth of these people.
Not evidence. You just made an anecdotal
No. This is from the source, the women themselves. Who tell me this? Well, who's going to know more than them? You?
Can you not? Wait, first of all, I just need to make sure.
Who's going to know more than them? You?
Not know the difference between an anecdotal claim and evidence.
Okay, but should I take this? Should I take the source? Should I take?
Anecdotal fucking claim.
You're still spurging, dude. Should I take the claim of the woman as being more accurate than your claim?
You can listen to people.
Who do you think? Which do you think is more reasonable? That I take the claim of the woman who tells me this, who's engaged in it, or your counterclaim, who's not in any way engaged in it?
This is what I think, and I think I'm right. That most of the big bucks come from the hate viewers.
Yeah.
People that hate jerk off to you.
Then prove it.
I think you have soy rage. I think you're a little soy man who's really, really angry. And these girls make most of their money from dudes that send them love letters. I've done the statistics. I have a whole sheet on it, and the way that they make money is because they do like chats. Now, whether they have a chat bot doing it or it's really them, the way most of these girls make their big money is they have a handful of whales who pay to chat with them.
That's
who
correct.
Send them gifts. Who buy them cars.
Yep.
So no, it's not the majority of the money is coming from hate watching. You absolute soy retard.
Thank you. Okay, well, let me amend my statement then. The majority of the audience is the hate people. The whales are not. The whales are the simps. Most of the people flocking in are not simps, and you need to have a massive influx of people. You can't just actually. If they only had like 3 simps, they wouldn't get any attention. They wouldn't be able to go on to whatever podcast. They'd just be a fucking.
Yeah, they would. They would still.
Yeah,
just 3 simps. 3 simps can equal hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for some of these women.
That's not what I said.
And that would explode.
They would just be a sugar baby, and they wouldn't have access to shows like this.
Why wouldn't they?
Because they have 3 subscribers to their own.
Yeah, but the thing is that they can have. Do you realize that they can do all sorts of advertising they couldn't ordinarily do by having that kind of influx of money, so that they can bring the simps in on the OnlyFans? You realize this, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
And
So
I
mean,
by doing that advertisement, the most of the influx is going to be hate people that are going to hate jerk
then
off.
that's what you have failed to demonstrate.
Well, that's no. I don't. I'm not. I'm like I've already explained to you, and you cannot demonstrate otherwise. That's what I think. You think otherwise. So we can just
but I at least have the evidence from the women themselves. Don't you think that's better than your claim of just I think this based on nothing?
Have said that there
Well,
are
so
simps,
like for instance,
which I agree
what
with.
are you even basing this on?
This is what I think.
Yeah, but what based on what?
Because I don't know. It's what I don't know. What do you want me to say?
I want you to just tell me what you're basing it on. You think it. I get that you think it, but why do you think it?
Okay, so the same thing happens on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Most of the viewers on these podcasts hate women. They're very misogynistic, and most of so they get a big influx of people to their fucking channels. It's not people that are simps. It's people that hate them. Seems obvious.
Because wait, if they go on these different shows where perhaps they have hate watchers there, maybe there could be some people who come over who like. Yeah, I don't know, hate jerk off to them or some shit like this. But the core of their fan base most certainly is not that way. They were already popularized before they ever went on those shows. So I don't really understand why you even why you even come up with this.
You can't demonstrate that the core. I mean, I agree that whales are usually simps, but the core of their fan base, you can't demonstrate either way. But I think when you go on the whatever podcast, then the majority of people that come from that audience are going to be hate viewers. And I think that's pretty.
Yeah, but that's going to be a small fraction of their audience.
Well, that's why they go on at all.
Yeah, but that's going to be a tiny.
Because they want to look like a retard. They go on to get viewers.
Well, that's going to be a tiny fraction of their audience. And no, I think that also a lot of women enjoy having negative and positive attention, even if it doesn't lead to monetary gain.
What is your evidence for that, Andrew?
Well, the evidence that I would use for that is the amount of social studies which show that both negative and positive attention.
Salacious appeal to authority, and you're just going to throw it.
Well,
off
would you
that?
reject
Would
you reject sociological studies as being an authority?
I mean, most people would.
So would you?
Yeah, and I don't like you're just
saying
without actually presenting anything.
Okay,
so
but you said it's an appeal to authority. An appeal to authority fallacy only works if we don't agree on the authority.
Okay, well, I don't agree. I agree on the authority. I don't agree on.
Well, then why would you say that I made an appeal to authority? If you agree with the authority, you fucking idiot.
You did make an appeal to authority, which we both agree.
Well, we can't. If I can't make an appeal to authority if you agree with the authority. Anyway, all right. Enough. You're a fucking dolt. I'll bring the next person up. By the way, it's funny. If I were him, I would have countered with, but you don't believe they're an authority, which I would have had a great argument with for as well, but whatever. There's only so much that I can take. Red Pill Apologist, followed by Fred Archer. Orthodox Daniel, I've seen you in the background too. I'm going to get you on as soon as I can. Red Pill Apologist, go ahead when you're ready. Can you hear me, Red Pill Apologist? You can unmute yourself whenever you're ready.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyway, I just want to say I think the Whatever podcast is really good. It's really informative. I think it really reveals the nature of women. A lot of women that go to these clubs, that go to these bars, this radical individualism that women, or people in general, that women can think they can just say or do and have no consequences for their action. I was watching one of the recent Whatever podcasts, and this woman, this girl had
I lost that debate. Cope Moore, fucking idiot. That guy got
and
wrecked.
he asked,
and it was easy to wreck him.
The host asked,
because he was
you know,
stupid.
Something like to the effect, do you think that's consistent with with Christianity or something like that? And it's just baffling to me that girl or that woman said she can do porn. She has no problem doing porn while wearing a cross on her. And I think this is indicative of the problem with modern society. This is what happens when you don't take ideas, religion, theology, when you don't take it seriously and you think it's just, oh, if I want to wear a cross, it's just a fashion statement. No, ideas have consequences. And so what's your opinion on that, Andrew?
Well, my personal opinion is that ultimately the best thing to destroy vampires is sunlight, right? And so the thing is that what often happens, and I see this in Christian and even in the red pill circles, probably every community deals with this to some degree, is that there are people who virtue signal, and what they'll do is they'll say, but wait, there's some bad things which potentially may come out of this, which is true, right? Basically, almost anything that you do in life, there could have the potential for some kind of bad thing to come out of it or some unintended consequence. So the way that I look at it from a broad overview, and I say, listen, it is true that there's probably some unintended consequences here, some bad things which do come out of this. But ultimately, I think that it's a necessary thing to drag this out so that people can see with their own eyes that this even exists to begin with, and that this is the mentality of the mostly progressive leftist prostitutes. I mean, that's just the truth.
Absolutely. I think it's really been eye-opening. I've always known that. I've always suspected that. But when you see it, like on YouTube, when you see the women, the sluts saying this, it's just so eye-opening. It's especially in our culture today. Just that they want to think there are no consequences. It's just me first. Whatever my preferences first. They only care about their immediate satisfaction. And I think I think that comes in a stark contrast with a biblical worldview. I come from this as a common sense type person. And when I saw that woman wearing a cross wearing a cross and saying she does porn, I mean, it's just blatantly, incredible to me that these women don't see how they're living. They're living in contradiction.
Well, what happens often with people is they have a bias which centers around experience. And so when they're kind of interjected to something they have no experience with, it can be jarring, very emotionally jarring. And I think that what ends up happening is the people who are inside the red pill sphere, there's even some in my chat right now who are pretty upset, they are used to it, right? They experience this sphere all the time. But other people external to that sphere don't. And so for them, it's very jarring for them to actually see that happen in real time, whereas kind of the other people go, wait, everybody knows this. No, that's just a kind of a sample selection bias, because that's the type of content which is consumed by those people. When people external those circles see it, though, it's eye-opening and it's jarring, and it makes them pay attention.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you for what you do. Thank you for defending common sense, going on these podcasts, this whatever podcast. I really do appreciate it, and I think you're helping a lot of people by seeing how this slutty behavior is endemic. So you know, it's endemic to a lot of these a lot of contemporary culture. It's just the slutification.
All right. We get it. I'm still on YouTube, though. So anyway, appreciate it very much. I'm going to drop you down from the speaker role. Appreciate the call in. I want to make sure I can get to everybody who's been waiting. Orthodox Daniel, you're up, and then followed by Fred Archer. Orthodox Daniel, go ahead when you're ready.
While they're coming up, we should mention that the girl he's talking about who was wearing the cross, Brian asked her, do you think God wants you to do porn? And she said, yeah, God loves me no matter what I do. So if doing porn gives me money and makes me happy, then God wants me to do it. And Brian said, well, if that's the case, what do you think Satan wants you to do? And she said, I guess Satan wants me to not do porn then, because he doesn't want me to be happy. And this is what a lot of women think Christianity is.
Well, white
in the
excellence,
modern era,
it's not a problem you'll ever have to deal with again, because you're
and
banned
you
from
just
my
never see
chat.
it. But I actually run into
Just for being
this
a little
kind of thing
bitch
all the time with
and
women
whining.
telling me they can be Christian feminists, they can be Christian porn stars,
Get outta
they can
here,
be female
white
preachers who are
excellence.
also porn stars. Like, things have
While the
gotten
rest of
nutty.
us engage in
People
the
think
culture war,
Christianity is
you
a
go fucking
self-help,
cry.
make yourself feel happy religion.
I'm sorry, I think it's Frederick. Is that correct? Or no, not Frederick. I'm sorry. It's did we not get him up here for some reason? Orthodox something or another. Forgot the name. Are you up here as a speaker?
I don't see him.
Yeah, I don't see him either. He might have disconnected. Fred Archer, I'm going to let you up. Go ahead when you're ready.
Hey there, Andrew.
Hi, how you doing today?
Good. I've actually was in one of Rachel's spaces a couple days ago talking about this very thing. So, I think the both of you are pretty great. So it's nothing. This isn't anything.
Yeah, I
personal against
overtalk
you
my
guys
wife.
going on
She's
the show.
property. Property doesn't
I'm
get
not
to
a leftist,
overtalk
by
me.
the way. I'm very much on the right. I think the issue with whatever is when the show first started. I'm sure you guys kind of remember in like 2022 when they had relatively like normal people on, right? You know, you had like your typical college sorority girl types, which is I think it's trash television basically, but whatever. At least it wasn't all porn stars. But the issue here I mostly see is that you have a lot of men who are already in a tough dating situation and don't like how the modern dating world is. And they watch whatever, and I think it just black pills more than it actually helps. So if you look at the comments below these shows and on Twitter and whatnot, like this is just pouring gasoline on an already kind of bad problem. And that's like the main thing I don't like about the show. I was actually talking with Brian and Chase last night on Samira's space, and they're polite enough, it's fine, but what they're doing I think is more detrimental to the overall cultural problem we are experiencing at this time than helping.
Well, let's assume for a minute that you're correct. We'll just grant it all. If you are correct, and it has a more blackpilling effect than anything else, then shouldn't we have voices that are on the show which give Christian pushback and give normalized pushback?
I'm not against pushback, but the amount of people we're actually saving, I think, in the process of going on these shows is very minimal. It's kind of like when you, in war, when you bomb an entire city to I don't know. Well, you bomb an entire city rather than just saving like the 5 people you wanted to
Yeah,
save.
but
you know?
that's not really to the heart of the question. The heart of the question is trying to get to this. Assuming that everything that you're saying is true, is it still better for us to have some sort of representation there to provide pushback, even if these are the worst degenerates on planet Earth, and the whole point of it is just to, let's say, line Brian's pocket and make them popular and things like this? Isn't it still better for us to do that than to do nothing?
I think that I still don't think we should be participating in this show, mostly because it's a ecosystem, like these previous callers have been saying, which they have articulated incorrectly, in my opinion. It's not just hate porn, and there's plenty of simps and stuff who are watching this content that love these women, but a lot of the people who do watch the Whatever podcast are both simultaneously like hate the women on, but buy their porn. Like, the women wouldn't go on if this didn't boost their numbers. Like, it clearly does.
Yeah, but don't we have a duty to challenge that system, even if what you're saying is true?
But you're not going to change anything.
Yeah, but we're not talking about outcome. Duty is not outcome. Duty is
okay.
Duty's
You
not.
gotta
Duty's
pick our
not.
fights
Hang on,
smarter
stop.
than this,
Duty's
though.
not
Don't you
based.
think, Andrew?
Let me finish, man. Duty's not based on just the outcome. Did the apostles have a duty to go to places where they were hated in order to preach the gospel?
Well, yes, obviously.
Okay, but those were enclosed systems, which also pushed degeneracy, and they also had to find a way in order to, especially Paul, to live side by side with these people as they were able to push their messaging through. They definitely moved to where people were that gave them the largest platform for their messaging. In this particular case, this is a large platform, like it or not. Shouldn't we have a man in the chair for our messaging too?
I don't know, man. I just think the fight is just not, it's not worth it. And ultimately the entire show, whether you guys go on or not, it's, I think, a net negative. And I just really do not think it's helping. And I've talked with Brian and Chase, and like I said, they're not totally unreasonable, the stuff they're saying. And they've said the same things that you are saying right now, especially Chase, who is, you know, the kind of the token Christian guy who goes on every so
Yeah, he's
often.
the man in the chair, but we need him in that chair.
But
don't you see what happens if we don't participate in the culture as it exists? If we don't put pushback in the culture as the culture exists now, then we don't really have an effect at all. We just end up moving towards more of the echo chambers, and we're not able to provide pushback on the larger platforms. So we don't have any of the good breakout stars that we need. There's conservative speakers who are better than me. I'm sure of it. There's conservative speakers who are better debaters than me. I'm sure of that too. But where the fuck are they? They don't participate in what's going on inside of the culture war that people can see. And so we end up, our side gets completely maimed, man.
I just don't think that fighting random OnlyFans bimbos really, like, changes anything.
Yeah, but can't it be a both and? Can't you fight all of it?
Well, you can, but, like, it doesn't really change anything. Like, whose minds are you changing here by going on?
I mean, the thousands of DMs that I've received and the hundreds and hundreds of people who've sent direct ones saying that they support the work and thank God there's somebody providing some pushback. I would say that it does, yeah, of course, debates change people's minds, but not only that, direct participation in the culture and a single viral clip, a single meme can change the direction of a nation. We've seen it before. So I'm not really buying this, right? Because I've seen how much a simple meme can change the way people think about things.
Are women, excuse me, are women actually changing their behavior based on you guys going on the Whatever podcast and debating them? Because I don't think they are. And if anything,
well, I think that
I
can respond to this. There's tons of people who buy my wife's book who said, I saw you here, I saw you there on a show which is filled with degenerates, for instance, or she debates with degenerates on different shows who literally tell her, I never even thought about these issues, but I bought your book in order to tear it apart and teach you a lesson. And then by the time they were done reading it, they went, oh, shit, maybe I was wrong. The thing is like, are we going to be able to massively sway all of them? No, of course not. But is that even the intention, or is the goal instead that we just have a man in the seat who can give some pushback for anything anywhere? Because what's happened is what you're talking about. It sounds to me like unconditional surrender. Like if you're gonna pick your battles, where do you want to battle? Where do you want to do these battles?
Where do I want to do the battle? Not on the whatever podcast.
Yeah, that doesn't answer the question. Where? Not where you don't want to fight. Where do you want to fight?
I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't
not
really
sure,
thought
right?
about-
So this is
fair enough.
Yeah,
But,
this
like,
is the
are we
problem.
really- I do not believe, Andrew, that going on this show is going to change really that many minds.
Well, if you want to switch, the tactics, then show me how, and show me where, and show me where we can strike better, and where we can strike harder, and where we can reach more people, and I'll go there. Does that sound fair?
Fair enough, but I still think you guys are participating in the most like degenerate scumbag like shows possible.
Well,
and
I
whatever
think
the
that your lack of participation in the relevant
My lack-
cultural fight
don't have
is
a big
far
enough
more degenerate and scum. Well, how are you going to get a big following if you refuse to participate?
who's going to invite me on the whatever podcast?
Who would invite me? I was a nobody before I was a somebody.
Sure, I guess, but I just do not think that this is like actually going to do anything. And it's anti-love too. These people are like absolutely the worst, and I just would never want to talk to them. And frankly, like
Yeah,
Brian
that's a you
is a
problem,
very
though.
easy dude, as well. Like this guy is kind of gross.
Then go on and tell him that to his face.
I have. I literally told him last night on a Twitter space.
Okay, so you are engaging with these degenerates? What's the point of that? There's no value in it.
I'm not on their show though.
Yeah, well,
They were
you're in
live
their
with
space. You're jumping in because you want to engage, because you think it must do some good, or why would you do it?
So going on Brian's show to tell him he's wrong, like he's not going to do that.
He did it in his Twitter space.
Yeah.
And tons of people heard it, and thousands of people listened to that space. And apparently you must have thought it did some good to engage directly with this guy and tell him that to his face.
It wasn't in his Twitter space. It was in someone else's Twitter space, and he hopped in after I was already.
Well, regardless of where it was, you were able to do it, and people were able to hear it. You must think that it does some good to do that.
I guess so, Andrew. Very cool.
All
Anyway.
right. Well, I appreciate the conversation. I understand that these debates get heated because we are on opposite sides of the position here, but I don't have any bad will towards you, and I appreciate you coming on.
Not me neither. Anyway, take care.
You too, man. Appreciate it very much, all you people who have called in thus far. Rave's the TV show. I'm going to let you on here real quick. Can you hear me okay? It'd be Raves D. I don't know where you're at.
I'm here.
Hello, how are you today?
Ha. Yeah, I'm really fine. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, what's on your mind, man?
Well, I only have three things to address. Number one, about
Wait,
the lady talking
back.
about
I'm
hell.
sorry. Hang on. Your accent's really thick, so it's hard for me to understand it. Can you slow down so that I can kind of mince what you're saying?
Okay, I will slow down. I'm from Africa, that's why.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
what I'm saying is the lady that was talking about Pearl, what she's saying about Pearl being engaged with the black people, that is why our dating pool is small. I just want to correct her for that. She's stupid to say that. Because if a guy said
Yeah,
that...
hang on. I'm not
on
getting
the
in.
podcast,
Listen.
that guy-
Hang on. I'm not getting into race stuff. I don't care about that. That's not what I'm here to do. So directly,
Yeah,
this
I get
is
it.
yeah.
I just want to clear that part
Yeah.
of my side that she shouldn't think like that. That have nothing to do with the dating pool
Gotcha.
or anything.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what's do
Number
you
two.
have? Yeah, go ahead. Number 2.
About whatever podcast, I think whatever podcast, Pearl podcast, and the rest are the best podcasts we can ever have. Because to me, they really, really helped me because when I came and I saw how things was going on in England, I was like, it's totally different from where I was brought up, you know. And having these people saying things like that make me actually believe in myself and make me feel like I'm not going mad. That it's not just me going through this because
Yeah.
a man that will say that what they are doing is wrong is a man that doesn't understand what is actually going on because it's not about the people coming there, it's about what they are saying out, how they are thinking.
Right.
You don't look at a program in one side. If you have one side not having open mind to listen to both sides, you will keep making the wrong decision and thinking that they are wrong or they are right. Because how can somebody say making a face is offensive? You know, and I don't understand their argument here. But whatever podcast, Fresh and Fit podcast, Pearl podcast, they are one of the best podcasts because they actually changed my life and my view of how things, you know, I even learned not to be used. I even learned from them. So I don't think this program are doing anything wrong. They
Yeah,
are
so
doing
you're
the
saying like
right thing.
there's a great side effect here, which is that because you are able to consume this kind of content, you're able to make a more informed decision based around what to do and what not to do.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that
and
makes sense.
I understand that what women want as well because the way they speak, and I realize that if you just want to be an average man and don't want to work hard as a man to move yourself up, you will never ever be their number one. And when you are not their number one, you have a problem. So I work hard now and I work smart at the same time just to get myself in the position. And since I've been listening to these people my life have been getting better and that's they are right. They are right, everything they are saying because I believe it now that women want resources and men want status. Like as a man, you need your name, you need everything. And a woman, they just want the resources. They just have to look pretty. There's nothing wrong in what they're doing. I don't know why people are taking it offensive and speaking for other people. People that you are speaking for that doesn't even know you are talking about them, you know, and getting offended about what they did to them. They didn't do it to you, it's to them. They are not even getting offended about it. And you guys are just going around spreading rumors, bad news about whatever podcast instead of you to listen to the content, what they are pushing back. Are you telling me that it's right for a woman to wear a cross, a symbol? If I wear a symbol of other people and I start doing something crazy about it, I'm offending their religion. That is how it is. And you want to talk about respect.
Yeah.
How are you respecting people by putting cross in your neck and acting punk and say God wants you to do that?
Yeah, I agree.
And when something
Listen, hang on. I got some other callers stacked up, and I made sure that you could say your piece. I really appreciate the call. I'm going to drop you from the speaker position, but I'm just going to quickly respond to this because you are correct, I think, ultimately, that, again, you're looking at when I hear this, I'm able to absorb it. I'm able to kind of understand what is and isn't true based on what these people are actually saying. So he finds it very useful to have pushback. And he's saying shows like this deliver excellent content because it gives you kind of more of a gauge about what is and isn't descriptive reality. And I find that to be useful too. And one of the reasons that I engage because it changed my opinion about many things as well. I've had to reassess some of my own kind of pre-biases and precognitive dissonance that I had myself. So this is something that's worth, I think, diving into. Adam Dole, I'm going to let you up, right? But don't say anything yet. You can unmute when you want. Olive Cypress, I'm going to let you up. Go ahead. Go ahead whenever you're ready, Olive.
I'm sorry, I'm here.
Yeah. Just hang tight for right now, okay, Adam?
Gotcha.
Olive, can you hear us?
Oh, hey, this is Olive's husband, but we just wanted to thank you, basically. We understand that we love seeing you on the Whatever podcast, and what you're doing is against the current zeitgeist that we see in America, particularly amongst the left. and it can't be easy. And there's a common thread in our society that shame is bad. You see
The
people
hippogriff is a
don't
noble
victim
beast,
shame me, don't
proud
body
and
shame
swift.
me.
They are an honor to train
But
and
shame
can
can
quickly
be
take
good
their rider
too.
a great
So
distance.
we just wanted to thank you for what you do.
Well, and let me thank you for the support. I really appreciate it very much. Say hello to your wife. I like her tweets. They're bangers. They
All
crack
right.
me up. So I appreciate that very much. And you have yourself a great day, man.
Cool. You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me move over to some of the other requests here. TM or T Morgan, you've been waiting patiently. Go ahead when you're ready.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, first of all, I'd like to thank Andrew and the Crucible for allowing me to speak up here. And second of all, I would also like to say that these shows provide a really good example on what to stay away from, in the modern dating marketplace. So I think that adds value, and that's a very important aspect to consider when maybe you're over here thinking that maybe these shows aren't the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. And do you find that type of content to be pretty informative ultimately?
Yeah, absolutely. This content, it tells you what to steer clear from as far as dating goes, and as far as it helps ground you in a more reality. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate the call in very much. Have yourself a great day, man.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Let me move over to some of the other requests here. Dr. Giga Chad. It's a funny name, Dr. Giga Chad. But go ahead when you're ready. Make sure you unmute yourself. Dr. Giga Chad, can you hear me okay? You're going to have to unmute yourself. There you go.
Guys.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good afternoon. My response is just to anyone who's kind of struggling with why the podcast is so popular and, why they might personally hate it. Regardless of what you think of the podcast and who its audience is and whether or not the women on there represent the whole, I agree it's vulgar. It's not fun hearing how awful women have become. I grew up in a nation full of desirable women, and I miss them more than ever. Unfortunately, respectful, desirable women aren't coming back by pandering to their poor behavior. Whatever is popular, and the podcast is popular because it's relevant, and it's relevant because it exposes the nature of modern women. But not just that, the biggest problem with dating and relationships today, we live in a society where the success of a relationship is entirely dependent on what makes her happy. Make no mistake, the reason why Americans are in this situation is because they're too afraid to criticize women. They're too afraid to criticize women because they've spent the past 40 years being brainwashed by feminism. If you ask most men's excuse, they'll tell you it's because we're tough. We don't need to worry about women taking control. We're so strong that it doesn't matter. A lot of my friends are alphas. These are men who have spent their entire lives dating beautiful women, building successful businesses, and this is precisely why they've overlooked it. They think we really do live in a patriarchy, and we've spent so long ignoring the problem that we ended up living in a matriarchy. And the craziest part about all this is the simple fact that everyone, men and women both, understand that pandering is bad. We can look throughout history and learn any time that anyone has ever been pandered to. It's bad for both the party being pandered to and the party doing the pandering. I mean, everybody saw the new South Park, right? Everyone saw that. But society is so feminized, so gynocentric, that no one will dare criticize women. You spend too long worshiping at the vaginal altar and you won't dare criticize it. So this is exactly why the Whatever podcast is so important. Women will never take accountability on their own, but they do respond to public shaming. And the show is helping the culture war for this reason alone.
That's a really well said. an articulate take, and I appreciate it very much. So to kind of give a summary at the end here, you would say that there's a net positive for us being pushback in some way to anything which is a relevant platform that we can push back on.
Yeah, the more exposure, the better, guys, on this topic. There's just, again, when you overlook it, it's going to get worse. You know, I mean, what happens when you pander to someone? I think the biggest response that I hear in criticism of the not just the whatever podcast, but sort of this whole red pill sphere is, you know, heaven forbid you dare criticize a woman. You know, you got to keep pandering, just keep pandering. That'll work. Maybe just if we pander a little bit more, it'll get better. And it's like, well, obviously that's not going to work. Obviously,
it's not working out great, is it? Not working out great. Well, listen, Dr. GigaChat, it's funny the chat was like paging Dr. GigaChat. That's pretty good. But listen, I appreciate the call in very much. Very well stated, very articulate. Hope to see you back for future calls. Have yourself a good evening, okay?
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too, man. Let me move over real quick to any of the... it looks like we got Beaten Cheeks. Who's waiting? Yeah, somebody said that was Brian. It doesn't actually sound like Brian. There's a cadence, but the voice doesn't sound correct. Beaten Cheeks, you're up. You've got the speaker mic. Just unmute yourself when you're ready. Can you hear us, Beaten Cheeks? We can't hear you, bro.
Yeah. Sorry about that, man. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, man. Long time no talk, man. I appreciate it. This is going to be nice and fairly quick. I'm currently in a Twitter war right now with that drug addict, pathological liar, Lav. So hold on a sec. But anyways.
Well, now hang on. Listen, Lav's in the audience right now.
Oh, good. Then she can hear it out.
Well,
then.
no. Listen. Here's my. Hang on. Stop. Listen to me. This is my kind of rule. If the person is there to defend themselves, I let them defend themselves. So if you're going to talk about Lav, I'm going to bring Lav up so that Lav can say her piece as well.
Perfect. But I want to speak about the Whatever podcast real quick. This is what about the Whatever podcast. I've been following them before I started following you back in 2021, into 2021, and beginning 2022. I think they're very entertaining. It was really nice until he started getting all the porn stars, going up on his podcast. And I can tell that you've been helping him out a little bit with his having a bit of a spine, which has been pretty helpful for Brian, because I speak to Brian pretty decently, for someone that has never been on. And I was supposed to get on earlier this year, but I couldn't because I was moving from Hawaii to a different state. But long story short, I don't think it is helping out the audience in regards to the epidemic going on, because they're still going ahead and subscribing to these OnlyFans idiot chicks. But I'm hoping that what they're consuming, the audience, is maybe they're going to be consuming to the younger audience that maybe this is not a good way to go and live life. You know what I mean? For like the younger females that'll be seeing this shit on their TikTok, because we all know these young kids, they all have TikTok brain. But hopefully they can catch on to this and say, man, maybe I don't want to be a degenerate piece of shit of a older woman when I grew up. You know what I mean? Hopefully this is a good message overall for the younger people coming up into the world. And I hope that is what's going to be happening. As you can see, he doesn't bring on women just, to shit on them, because they kind of do it themselves. I mean, let's just look at what they fucking say with you, for crying out loud. You really have to dumb it down to their level, and then they still don't understand how big of a piece of shit they really are. I mean, that's really it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Lav, are you having trouble getting on? Just go ahead and put a hand up real quick. Yeah, go ahead and put a hand up real quick if you want to come up and confront your accuser here. Okay, so she got the hand up. I think she's having some trouble. Disconnect and then reconnect, Lav, and I'll bring you back up. Put in a request, a speaker request.
It must be some poor people problems that she has. So I wouldn't understand that since for a few years. So Lav, come on and hit me up. I'm waiting on you.
Yeah, hang on.
I want to know what kind of lies you want to make up about other people, because you shouldn't be.
Wait, what the fuck are you talking about? You
there
little
we go.
fucking estrogenic monkey.
Hang on. Both of you guys, hang on. Just real quick. Keep it TOS.
One,
Keep it TOS friendly, Lav. Promise. Keep it TOS friendly. Go ahead.
Okay, I won't say the F slur. I was close.
You should do it anyways.
I've never done a drug in my fucking life. I've never even smoked weed. I've never been drunk before. What
Yeah.
the fuck are you talking about?
I don't believe
Calling me
that.
a drug addict, you fucking weirdo.
Exactly.
Second,
Look
what have I
listen to
lied
yourself.
about?
Listen to yourself. I've seen you get on that podcast, making up a whole bunch of crap that you couldn't even back up on the whatever podcast. You are a disgrace to all
What did
women
I
out
make
there.
up on the
Look, are you
whatever
serious? Are you
podcast?
serious right now? Why don't you go watch yourself? First of all, you went ahead and started accusing and being a very big misandrous, and then you want to talk about shitting on OnlyFans girls when you are an OnlyFans girl, previous whatever. Regardless, you're still out there. You should not be ever speaking at all on anything like that.
So,
You're
so
just a degenerate piece of shit.
women? So you're saying that women who became disenchanted by the sex industry and are now against it shouldn't talk to
really?
women? So only
Oh,
you
really?
guys. So only rightoid retards can speak to women now about being anti-sex work. You're upset that I went on the whatever podcast to
I'm not
talk
upset about that. I thought
negatively
you were
about
I'm not-
OnlyFans and porn. That's what you're
Oh
upset
no.
about.
Oh no, I'm upset about just you being platformed. How about that whole situation with you and Destiny? I don't even like Destiny, but I have to actually defend him a little bit with what you did about him.
Of course, because I'm a woman and you can't get women unless you pay for them, so you hate them.
You sure about that? I can show you some proof about that. That's quite the opposite.
Ew, are you gonna send me some weird porn, you fucking freak?
Why would I? There you go. See, there you go, accusing me of or actually about to
proof?
slander me
I
about
just
something
said
to
that
do.
you can't have
Come
sex
on.
with women. You said you were gonna send me proof, you fucking degen.
Come on, girl.
I don't want proof.
Come on, girl. Come on. Just admit that you're a pathological piece of crap of a lie.
Okay, what have I
person.
lied about?
Oh my God! Come on. How about this? Fake Me Too bullshit that you've been doing.
Okay, what did I say?
With the are you serious? Oh my God! Don't make me.
Yeah,
pull
what did
this
I
shit
say?
up.
I want
Let me
you
pull
to
it up.
tell me what I
No,
said.
no, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Hold on a second. It's gonna take. I don't think Andrew has time for this, so I'll just go ahead and do.
Oh
this
no!
online.
Oh
Just
no!
send it
I
to you
have
directly.
I have time.
Ah, perfect.
If I'm such a pathological liar, if I have such a wide history of lying, you'd think that you could pull something up pretty easy.
Oh, sorry. I actually have a business here. All right, here we go. Destiny confronts Lav about her lies and allegations.
Yeah, what was the lies and allegations, babe?
Are you seriously calling me babe? Don't do that. So,
I can't say the F slur. I'm trying to behave.
Behave, Lav.
Also, I wanted to know about the
You're
whole
fumbling,
aspect.
buddy. You're fumbling, buddy.
Actually, I'm not. I have it up right here.
This is estrogenic behavior from you.
Estrogenic behavior. Here, who is this guy you're confronting over here on last night on Destiny? About you, this guy's calling you a racist, but you said you're not. Then you went ahead in this space and immediately,
Okay, so
started saying some
are we talking
bullshit.
about the lies, or are we talking about me being racist? Because I'll concede I'm racist. Now what?
Oh, okay, but you said you weren't before, and then now you are. Okay, that's easy. So you already conceded that you're a racist piece
I
of
wasn't
shit.
racist then. Now I'm racist. Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, so that's not a lie. That is just you exposing yourself as an even bigger piece of shit
Yeah,
than you already were. All right,
I'm
perfect.
very pro re-education camp.
Pro re-education
Okay, what's
camp.
the
So,
lie?
You just conceded that you lied about not being a racist. Now you are.
That's no.
Are you serious
no,
right
that's
now?
not a lie. I wasn't racist then. Now I am.
Oh, are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
What?
I
So
appreciate
you
that.
gonna bring up my
Now-
lies now or what?
No. Here we go. What is this Me Too bullshit about? You.
What did I allege?
What about you and Destiny? What's going on there?
What did I allege?
Oh my God, I do not have 30 minutes for this shit.
No, you said that I lied about something. What did I lie about? What did I allege about Destiny?
Hold on a second. Here we go. Oh no.
It's the same thing with you guys. You guys don't even know what the fuck I alleged or what I
I'm
said.
literally looking. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't seen this in
You just
8 months,
repeat
and I
the
didn't.
same
speak-
fucking
oh no,
talking
no, no.
points. It's insane.
No. You listen up, Lav. First of all, you literally are making up a lot of shit from
My
before
friends
in the
call
past.
me Lav. You are to call me Lavender. Thank you.
Oh no, I'll call you whatever the hell I want. Your name is Lav, apparently
Just
to
don't call
everybody.
me
So I'm gonna
late for
call
dinner.
it. Oh Jesus Christ! Here we go.
Go ahead.
Don't be trying to kiss my ass right now. I don't even know that
that's the
simpering.
last thing I want to do. The last thing I want to do, buddy.
Lav, I just want to know, why would you openly being racist about, Pearl, liking only black people, and that's all she's platforming? I want to know about that immediately.
Okay, so are you going to talk about the lies, or do you want to get Andrew demonetized?
Yeah, let's.
No, he's not gonna get demonetized.
Well, all right. Well, we're not gonna go down. We're not gonna go down that road. But if you do have some actionable lies that you want to kind of hit Lav with, now's your chance, man.
Dude, I'm trying to find it, man. Right, I have it on right here.
But I thought I had a long, extensive history of lying.
Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Let me make it easy for you. This is what I alleged of Steven. I said that he sleeps with people that he platforms, and that's unethical.
Why is that unethical? I'm just being, I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
When you sleep with a lot of your employees or people that you work with, I believe that that's a power dynamic that is unfavorable to a lot of women. Now, do I think that this is the end-all be-all? Do I think that he should be deplatformed because of this? No, but I think that women should be aware that he might try to sleep with you if you go on his platform. And I think that that's a perfectly normal thing to say. That's not really alleged anything. That's not a Me Too. That's not anything. Now, if you're talking about someone else that I've come forward about, like maybe the comedian Gabriel Gundaker, I can tell you that over 25 women came forward about him. So you can believe that every single one of us
I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. That's not my argument here at all whatsoever. But just the mere fact
what are
that
the lies then? And
you literally
where's
okay.
this drug
There's no lie.
There's coming from.
First of all, the way you speak, trust me, I actually used to do drugs, and you speak very much of that. Oh
I
yeah,
believe you.
I used to love that shit. God damn. And you clearly need to have a therapist
You're
about it.
coked
Come
out
on now.
right now.
Oh God, I wish. I've been
I
2
bet
years
you
sober,
do.
so.
All right, guys.
Come on,
Listen, this isn't going anywhere. I appreciate the call from both of you, and but if somebody happens to be if somebody happens to be in the audience though, and somebody else is talking smack about it, I've always thought that it's fair to let that person come up to defend themselves. I've always been that way.
Bro, she actually did, and she actually admitted to something that I didn't expect her to admit. I was like, I'm pretty fucking shocked. How am I gonna defend that? So I actually have to give her a fucking round of applause for that shit. God damn. Or being openly racist, a piece of shit of a person. Oh my God, I don't know what to say about that.
All right, man. Well, look, I appreciate it very much. Have yourself a good day, Beaten Cheeks. Let me move over real quick to any other requests. Go ahead, man.
So I was thinking for most of this conversation what exactly the standard would be from a right-wing perspective to say that whatever is bad, and the best I could come up with was if it could be proven that more people are start supporting these women than start supporting like the Crucible or stop supporting them. But the problem is, I think that that's very difficult to determine, like whether or not that's actually happening.
Well, I mean, okay, I think that that's fair, but what's your kind of conclusion here, or do you have one?
Well, my basic conclusion is I'm not really confident that you can say whether or not whatever is good or bad unless you have a separate standard.
You mean something to compare it to?
Yeah.
Well, what would
at least if we're going by outcomes.
What would you compare it to?
And you mean in terms of podcasts?
Yeah, I mean whatever the external standard is.
That's a good question. I would have to say, well, okay. So in terms of comparing it to other podcasts, I can't think of another show like it other than I guess Fresh and Fit. But I would say it's probably better than them. I haven't watched much of their stuff though.
Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't you have to hold the same standard for Fresh and Fit, that you would have to kind of use some external standard to compare it to by this logic?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of either personally. I think, but at the same time, it's like I do understand the position that we need to be bringing people in from other communities, and that's obviously important.
Yeah. No, I understand.
And I've definitely seen that. I've seen that on the Discord quite a bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's important for community outreach, and I believe 100% that I wouldn't go on so much if I didn't recognize there's a need to have a man in the chair to do pushback. It's necessary. And the Crucible's always acted as a pushback to kind of left-wing degeneracy, and where else are we going to go except the places where there's the most amount of degenerates who are platformed? Where else would we go? Isn't that the most useful form of our time? So... is to go where they're at. So anyway, I appreciate that very much. Guys, I don't see any other call-ins here. I appreciate all the back and forth. I'm going to kind of wrap the Twitter space up on this side, but I appreciate everybody coming out for it. I don't like to make them too long because people have kind of shorter attention spans. But I appreciate everybody coming out today, and I hope all of you have a good day. Now, before we do wrap it up, Apache, you didn't really get to say very much. So I'm going to let you jump in if you have anything that you want to say. I guess he doesn't. All right, guys, I'm going to end the space. Have a great day. All right. Twitter space, Crucible history. First one we've ever done live. And it was, I would say, fantastic. Fantastic. We had 1,230 people tuned in just in that space. Pretty good. We did pretty well with it. So the invasion of Twitter will also continue. Tried to call in on Twitter space. Don't know how it works. I think you do have to be verified. So you have to be a blue check mark, I think, to call in, but I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure. Let me get to any of these super chats that I may have missed, guys. It's through your guys' support. Also, let me change that real quick. That was not... I forgot to change the... forgot to change the name. It's just... we've already taken care of the Christmas charity fund, so... 29,000 subs today. Peace out. Great show, man. Yeah, we had Pearly Things stop in. Dyer was there. Tons of great people were there inside of that space. Always bringing you the best content. Let me move over to the Dono chat side here, guys. Okay. So, $5 comes in from John the Sock. No message entered. He just wanted to show support for the stream. Another huge $100 super chat comes in from Cozy. He says, so to be clear, you're amazing, Andrew. Everything you believe and stand for. I believe and stand for. Need you to understand that you're making a big and positive impact on a lot of people, and society needs this. Thank you. Hey, man, thank you for the $100 donation. It's awful kind of you. Big donos from him today. It's very kind of him to do. $5 from Magdalene M., who says, this woman complains about... the show. I can't read that, Magdalene, unfortunately. But I appreciate the $5 donation. $5 comes in from Righteous Muffin, who says, I think the only good argument against Brian Fresh and Fit and RP is that those guys aren't moral and religious like Andrew. I want to hold more women to a standard that they don't live up to. I think that that's a really good point from Mr. Muffin here. Let me add those up on the dono bar here real quick, guys. And then I'm going to get over to the YouTube side, super chats here. We'll go for a little bit longer. We'll go for a little bit longer. We have a ton of stuff coming up. Show started today with Redeem Zoomer, moved over to a contentious Twitter space. It's been a great day for content here on the Crucible. So that puts our dono bar at $520 for the day. Again, very kind of you guys to do. Now let me move over to the YouTube side, make sure I can get to all the super chats. $5 just came in from Boss FZZ, who says, I'd like to chat with you about the manosphere and conservatives one of these days, maybe something of a debate. We should set it up. Happy to do so. You can hop in the Twitter, send me a DM, and we'll get it all set up over on that side. You can also DM me on the Discord. I'm always happy to kind of dive into any of these different topics. So testing tolerance. Well, I'm sorry, I read that. Read that one. By the way, too, the SEK currency came out to $95 from the Super Chats, which came in from Cozy. It was very kind of him to do. I appreciate it very much. $10 from Madden William, who says, have you heard the founder and designer of Glock has passed away a couple days ago? Hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Yeah, I did hear that. You know, he was not much of a public persona, to be honest, but I do like Glock handguns. I think they're quite good. $10 from Sarcastic Warlock. I already read that, but I appreciate it very much. $10 comes in from Logan, who says, personally, I think Brian uses people for personal gain. That being said, if I was running that kind of podcast, I wouldn't invite so many guests all at once. I'd have 6 people max, not 10. Yeah, I think that the format you could make some pretty valid criticisms of, but I also understand that he wants to make sure that he doesn't run out of content when he does an 8 to 9 to even 10-hour stream. That kind of makes sense to me, you know what I mean? Kind of makes sense that you want to overbook and over-deliver. $7 from Burning Wolf, who says, Ago, or Hago or whatever, the stupid face pleasure hijacked by 304s in cooking anime and manga. Shago faces are made because they tasted very good cooking. Shago's not sexual. Yeah, that's true. There's also, again, that could be sexualized or not, but I'm not sure that I would put that in the category of sex work, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you can sexualize anything.
FB sends in $5 and says, why is this radical feminist using shaming tactics? That's a very dishonest, low IQ behavior. They always have. $10 from Joshua Wooden. He says, I like Redeem Zoomer and Vocab Malone, but I see Calvinism as heretical, as our free will does not affect God's sovereignty, and free will is a gift from God. I can't expect, so we don't have free will. Well, I'm sure he'll come on to do a debate, and I'm going to be happily set him up against somebody in the ortho community if I don't debate with the guy myself. $2 comes in from FB, says Airhead thinks she has more to say. $5 from Frederick, who says sleeping. Oh, dude, shut up, Frederick. $2 comes in from S Mill. He says people on the show constantly complain how hot it is. It's not that hot in the studio. It kind of is, but it's not bad. $2 from Testing Tolerance says kick this dummy. Okay, well, that was maybe a little late for that. $5 from FB says, going to throw a counter argument. Even if we concede his point, the woke leftists are the ones that created the anti-men environment in the first place. That's also a really good point. It's also a really good point. $5 from Testing Tolerance says, Madison from Whatever Mocks Brian emotes his repetitive phrases. She's not doing porn faces. Yeah, I always got the idea that she was there as more of a mocking aspect than anything else. And having talked to her, she seemed like she was quite nice and was not involved in any of the kind of degen nonsense. So, Retroapocalypse says for $5, the purpose of being there isn't to change the mind of any of the guests, but to show the audience the road not to travel. I tend to agree with this. I think that that's a really good way of framing it. $10 comes in from S. Mill. Says, I like Brian because he doesn't push open relationships only on the man side. I think that is still degenerate towards society. I think having sex with low BC women quickly contributes to a high BC, meaning body count. Yeah, that's probably true. TM says, for $5, thanks for letting me talk. I had more to say, but I was too nervous to say more, so here's my money as thanks. No, I understand. Listen, we make it look easier than it is to do public speaking like that. When people are put in the hot seat, though, it's really easy for your mind to go blank, forget what it is that you were going to say. It takes a while and a good bit of practice to tune the audience out and just kind of pretend they're not even there. There's a show like this, of course, which is funded by the audience and audience interaction that's much more difficult for me to do. I just have to, after a while, understand there's going to be thousands and thousands of people who are going to watch. And so, after a while, you just kind of get used to it. But I understand. But don't worry, man. The more you go, or the more call-ins you do, the easier it'll get for you. So, Joshua Wooden for $5 says, I don't agree with Pearl on a lot, but yeah, 25, 30-year-old girls are taken advantage of, but 10-year-old kids can transition. Yeah, exactly. 21st century idiocy. I agree. $5 from Baz. It says, I tried to call in the Twitter space. I don't know how it works. I think you have to be a member, bro. I think you do. You have to have a blue check mark. Beaten Cheek says, why'd you catch me off guard, damn it? Haha, I had to run back to putting guys in prison next time. I'll make sure to have your videos. Well, that's the thing, man, is like, I didn't mean to catch you off guard, but at the same time, that's always been a rule in the Crucible. If, if we're having an open dialogue or something like that, somebody comes in to criticize somebody else, I always make sure that the person that they're moving the criticism towards can defend themselves. I've been in situations where that's not the case, where I'm there and I'm like, why don't you let me come on and defend myself? And they just kind of scoff. I always thought that was bullshit. $20 comes in from Logan Daly, who says, I missed most of this. Whoops. How was the talk with Redeem Zoomer? It was good. The Twitter space was even better. I hope you guys really enjoyed all of that, as I enjoyed hosting it. Whole week of content will be on every day through Monday. It was good to do today at this time. Tomorrow we're going to go a bit earlier, and then we'll transfer the audience over to Made by Jim Bob stream. But in the morning we're going to do an invasion, and then we have a full weekend of content. We're going to be doing debates and everything else, so hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm going to wrap this stream down. It's 5:30 with any questions you guys might have for me. Twitter space still going? What happened? What'd I do? Did I mess something up on Twitter? Doesn't look like it's still going. Doesn't look like it's still going, so. Anyway, what questions do you guys have for me as we wrap the stream down? Remember, you don't have to send in a super chat. If we wrap the stream down, you guys can just basically ask whatever you want, though you're not discouraged from sending in a super chat, but I've always responded near the end of a wrap down. So, cope smarter, not harder. That's great. I love that. How was your Christmas? It was fantastic. I feel like the kids got what they wanted. And I was really tired because I had done the big charity stream, which, by the way, we made and has already been mostly dispensed. But it was exhausting to do that 3 days in a row. Plus, I just basically stayed drunk for 3 days for that charity stream. So Christmas was kind of a recovery for me. Kind of a recovery. Melissa sends in $5, just wants to show support for the stream. Appreciate it. Send in another dono. I'll pop in on the dono side real quick, guys, and make sure that we get those. Hang on a second. Righteous Muffin sends in $5, and he says, I understand the need for shaming these women, but do you think it would be better received if they're bringing in the lowest IQ women for it? What do you think of the morals for the red pill community? I think that this is actually a red herring. I'm not sure that these are the dumbest women that they can bring in. I don't actually believe that that's true. I don't think, having seen some of the trad representation, which is there, who are supposedly kind of big in-person personalities, I don't feel like they do all that much better than a lot of the OnlyFans girls. So I'm not really willing to kind of just grant this as, well, you're just bringing in the kind of really dumb people. That doesn't seem to be the case. They bring in kind of the sharper women too, and I don't feel like they do great. So I don't feel like they do great. I feel like they have the adequate pushback depending on whatever person is there. So whatever podcast, not red pill. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answers to those questions. I'm not a red pillar. I'm Christian ethicist, and I'm also a staunch conservative, so I argue from those perspectives. Hey, look at that. I have access now to my own emojis. That kind of makes me happy. Look at that. I can give the Crucible crowns now. I can do crowns in chat now. And other shit. I probably always could have, but I just didn't know. There's supposed to be some feature where I can gift memberships now, too. Supposedly. Supposedly, there's supposed to be some feature where that's the case. I got to figure out. There we go. All right. So what else is on your guys' mind? I have nothing, or I have no one and nothing to answer the question. Yeah. Many of them are college educated too. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's just true. I feel like a lot of the criticisms come up short. What I honestly believe is going on is that leftists themselves can't find a way to completely co-opt the platform, and so they want to shut it down. That's what I think is going on. That's my honest view of it. And it's not even all of the left, just some people on the left want to. That's what I think is actually going on here. Andrew, I'm relatively new here and working out schedule. Is there a consistent schedule for your content I should be aware of, or generally when I should be looking for your streams? Because we do so many debates, we can't be particularly consistent because we move off of other people's schedules. But what I would do is almost daily or every other day, check into the Rumble channel, and you'll see most of our content is posted there if you missed it. So, Just a Dad Legend became a member. Welcome to the Crucible. Happy to have you here. Happy to have you here. Been attending a local Rollcore church. The wife and son love it. Looking into catechumen classes. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry there's no set schedule. We really can't do that because of the way that the show operates. We've tried before, but we just can't. We have to shift too much around because of it's a fairly guest heavy show. So yeah, I like Pearl's content. And I like talking to her. She's a nice person. So hey, Basebeard, what's up, man? What's up? Been enjoying the Rumble content since I found it. Great. Make sure you guys subscribe over there. Get 'em, Andrew. That's what we do. Glad to see the show back from break. I've been binge watching your prior clips and shorts. Yep. Well, I needed a few days off, man. My wife told me too. She said you have to take a couple of days off. You just like the straight up Irish 3 days of drinking at my age is not. That's something I still need to recover from. It's something I still need to recover from. I found you recently binging on Rumble. Favorite moment is when the girl said, "Can you biologically tell somebody?" Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. I agree. 29,000 YouTube subscribers today, running strong. We are, by the way, and I'm going to be doing this Saturday. We're going to be doing the 30,000 subscriber Crucible Pizza Party. We set aside some of that charity money for that, and here's how that works. I'm going to get that dumbass Jim Bob on. We're going to have a big show special, just like we did around Christmas time, where we react to a bunch of these crazy, insane degenerates. But if you guys make us laugh, we're going to buy you a pizza, and we're going to buy you some soda. We'll try to get all the pizzas out in the same hour if we can. That way, everybody can have lunch and that kind of thing. So, really appreciate it. $5 from S. Mill says, "Missed my super chat. How's it supposed to be a dating podcast, not 3004 intervention?" Well, I think that it is both. I would say it's still fundamentally a dating podcast, but you would still need pushback even in a podcast like that because you're having conversations about preferences and about how the world runs when it comes to dating. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'd agree with that. I understand the point, but I'm not sure I agree with it. FB sends in $5, says, "Again, though, even if these are the worst women, woke feminists are the ones responsible for making these terrible views popular." I agree. Andrew, thoughts on cosplaying trad wife conservative women on Twitter? I personally think they are worse than leftists. People like Ashley St. Clair, Isabel Moody. Okay, so let me respond to this. This criticism I have myself, right? I do have it myself. But I thought about it for a while. Let's assume for a second that what's going on with these women is they're acting in a more traditional manner or trying to present themselves in a more traditional manner for the purposes of gaining more male attention. They think that that's a better angle than the alternative for gaining female attention. If that's true, then actually isn't that a step in the positive right direction? Wouldn't we have the preference that being a trad woman is the popular alternative and the thing we should be pushing towards, and shouldn't that give you hope? That would be my question back to you. Isn't the point of doing all the shaming of the opposite side so that we see more women move that direction, even if it starts as a LARP? This one comes in. Sorry, it's a longer name. I have to actually check it here. Back Down the Revenge sends in, I don't know, 125p, whatever that is. Who's the most good faith, best leftist you've had a debate with in the whatever podcast? Farah. I enjoyed debating with Farah quite a bit. And also, she had a friend with her, what's that girl's name? Pixie. I found that Pixie was trying to stick with the arguments. She did get emotional at times, but I still felt like she was trying to engage with actual arguments. FB says for $5, to be clear, when I say popular, I mean the forces that drive society agree with it, not the general public. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Appreciate that $5, FB. $10 from Joseph. Yeah, Joseph Newton. He says, Lav's cringy cope laugh hurts my ears like nails on a chalkboard. A lot of cope laugh from Lav. Appreciate that $10, by the way. The Raging Patriot sends in $5. Says, I know the struggle from my heydays of debauchery, and I'm glad we met it. Yeah, I'm glad we met it too. And that all came in mostly from $5, $10 super chats, as we did it over a 3-day kind of push. There was some large donations, but we never got a donation above $200 that entire stream. Well, we did. Right at the end, somebody sent in a $700 donation, but other than that, we didn't get above a $200 stream. So it was all with the 5s
You guys
and 10s
suck.
and 15s and 20s that made that stream
Fucking noobs.
Work, where we ended up surpassing the dono goal, which I'd say is pretty good for a channel our size. We're really kicking ass on that. So now you're okay with false trads. That's not what I said. So that's literally not what I said. So I think if you're going to straw man what I literally just said 5 minutes ago, then you're not listening to me, so I'm not going to listen to you. The Crucible, do you have anything in the works with Fresh and Fit? Fresh at one point was studying to become a pastor. Nothing in the works. I did reach out to Rolo Tomasi as a contact to talk to them, but so far nothing's come of it. So hit you again on the dono, brother. Okay, I'll take a look over there. By the way, $45, huge super chat comes in from Anonymous. Says, I can't post in the Foundry Discord to get approved. Really want to be a part of it, but I can't even ask. Huh. Can you maybe DM me on Twitter? If you my Twitter DMs are open. If you DM me on Twitter, I'll make sure that you get verified in the Discord, Anonymous. And thank you for the $45. It's the only thing I can think of for how I can contact you so that we can get that done. $5 from Righteous Muffin. By the way, thanks for the huge $45 super chat. Really appreciate it. $5 from Righteous Muffin, who says, what do you think about all these conservative women that push or advocate for trad wife without even loving that life? And then when asked if they would change, they say they can raise a family and keep a job. So, well, that's just feminism described as traditionalism. What I'm talking about is a trend. So if we're looking at trends, we do want to see women, if the goal, in other words, if the goal is this, the goal is the shaming tactic is to show that women actually, if we're trying to utilize their kind of narcissism for male attention, if that was the goal, then if you saw them narcissistically saying, I actually receive more attention and do better by not acting like a 304 and by embracing more traditional values, then that's probably a good sign. That's the point of what I said. It's not an embrace of it. And I think that that you should challenge them on their feminist presuppositions as well. And I do it all the time. That's the point that I'm saying, right? We can't kind of pretend that there's going to be perfection out of any of them at first, but I'd prefer to see a trend at least in the right direction. $5 comes in from Tracy, who says, remember all the women feminists, hashtag change my mind. I'd love to see you and Rolo have a chat. First time listener brought in from whatever. Would love to chat more on this topic. I've had Rolo on the channel multiple times. I don't know if you know that or not, but I have had her on. Tommy gifts 5 Crucible memberships. Awful nice of you, Tommy. Appreciate it. very much. I think I missed a couple over on the YouTube side. I'm just going to double check real quick. Because I think I did miss a couple as I was looking at the Dono chat side. Joshua Wooden says, thank you. He sends in $5. Thank you, Andrew. The word of the day, pontificate. Debate and discourse strategy for leftists and Dawa guys say dumb, factually wrong things confidently. They do it all the fucking time. They do it all the time. They say stupid things confidently, and then you can kind of break down their suppositions very easily. I've always been very good at doing that. It's a lot of the reason people tune into my content, so appreciate that very much. So what else you guys got for me? Again, we're winding the stream down. Awful kind of everybody to come out today. Who's the best debater in the manosphere? My mind's not made up on that yet because I haven't encountered enough of them. So ask me that question again in a few weeks after I've engaged with more of them. So far, the only one who's ever even put up a good fight, I think, is Kevin over on the PWF channel. I felt like he at least came with some arguments, whether I agreed with his arguments or not. Right? Whether I agreed with his arguments or not, I still thought he at least came with some. But my mind's not made up on that end. By the way, a huge $50 donation comes in from James S. He says, thank you for pushing back against the degeneracy. You're very welcome. Can we get some crowns in chat for James and also for Anonymous and also for Cozy, who sent in huge super chats today? It was very kind of you to do. $5 from Daniel Zan, who says, I agree if other women see these women having success, respect LARPing as trad, they will think maybe I'll try for the same. Bam, culture is heading our way. Well, no, I mean, kind of. I'm just saying that it seems like it's a more positive trend than I get far more female attention or far more male attention from acting like a dumb skank. There is that old kind of adage, if you pretend something long enough, it becomes part of the culture. If you pretend something long enough, you become that thing. And so I'm just saying I think it's a trend at least in the right direction, Daniel. So I appreciate the $5. Huge $50 super chat from Beaten Cheeks. Awful nice of him. He says, by the way, more people are slowly coming up against Dems and Libs, the degeneracy, and other good topics you hit up on. You're leading the way, and more people are finally watching this. Keep it up. I'm glad to be a part of the movement with my Rumble. Glad to have you here very much. Okay. Cole says, I watched you on whatever podcast you, my friend, are goated. Thank you very much. Appreciate that very much. So, yeah, it's very, very nice of you guys to come out for the stream today. Let me add these Dono chats up on the Dono bar real fast, guys. As we're just kind of winding the stream down in the Q&A, I want to answer any questions you guys might have. We've got plenty of great debates which are coming up. We have plenty more of this content coming up. We are making plans with Brian to, of course, do more of the whatever stuff when they get back. We've got some pretty big shows planned on that end. By the way, that takes our donation goal to $776. Very nice of you. Who's a better debater? Counterpoints or Rob Knorr? Rob Knorr. That's not even close. I like Counterpoints. He's a good guy. I just think Knorr's a better debater. Arcane sends in $5, says, what age do you recommend allowing children to use social media? I think clear up until probably 16 or 17. If they're going to use social media, it should be guided. So you should really keep up on what it is that they're consuming. You know what I mean? I don't think that we should necessarily infantilize or treat children like they're stupid, because they're really not. But I do think you need to be a guidepost as you're moving through there, and kind of, you know, this whole kind of aspect of you don't have the right to dive into what your children are consuming or, you know, who they're talking to. That's all bullshit. You should be doing that. It's necessary. FB sends in $5, says, Beaten Cheeks.
Changes post patch. I mean, there's a bunch of changes, a bunch of things that got Tweaked, tuned, added. Check out the like notes yourself or something. Hit a shot. Like hit one shot in that entire engagement, and we probably actually win it. Damn. Rough. It's rough out here. Let 2 of us die, gets 1 kill. And now he's dead. Alright. Wonderful that. Works. The defense is holding up.
Wow.
Oh my god, that actually hit him. That is crazy. Holy shit, I can't believe that actually hit that guy. All those needles. Their tests with that go smooth. Everything looks good, and they just add it to... They'll just add it to normal matchmaking overall. That's the goal.
Good damage considering. I wonder if I have a poison, does it make leaf come off? The mechanical green. How do you get it? Is it from the Christmas event? Orgrimmar tree. I just opening a present or what? But it's only finite usage or what? I need to save that shit for the duels.
Oh, do I have a deal for you?
3 charges only. Shit. That's scary, man. I gotta save that bad boy. This guy really wants me. Paytor. You haven't got bubble Pator. You used it in the last fight, Pator. Oh my god, Dodpret saved me. I can't let you die, brother. Oh. Saved. That's a lay on hands. I'm just gonna let the pom bounce, I think. No, I need to pop a penance on him. I used one charge on my warrior so I could solo elites for a quest. I'm gonna save mine, man. Save it for level 60. If there's any duel tournament or anything, I'm gonna whip that bad boy out. For anyone wondering what gear I'm running, I'll quickly show you. Duration 8 days. Yeah, but it can die. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be gone in 8 days. You mean? I thought you meant that it's up for 8 days. Oh fuck. That sucks. I mean, I better use it for a sick world PvP fight then. What if you die? Is it just gone, or does it stay up when you res? When you open the gift, do not open gift. Okay, good shit. Warrior, you do UW. You are erased. At least we think so. Yeah, I'm just gonna try not opening it. We're definitely losing this BG, by the way. That's fine. As long as I save my boon. Bro, what are you doing? Somebody else just stunned me. On the penance, what an absolute trooper. To be fair, I don't know if I was expecting much better than the way this game is going with 6 rogues. Most of them have like 800 health. It's not ideal, boys. Am I over? Oh, I can't see damage, man. The fact that you can't see damage on this board, it's tragic, by the way. Alright, let's not open that present then, eh? Oh, it's Jurassic. He's back at it again. Getting the berserking buff. Oh, this is not good news, boys. Oh, I didn't hit the rogue. I'm dead. Oh, never mind. Ivar coming in hot. Oh, well, he dispelled my speed pop, man. No. Oh, the lads are hit. No, as if that killed me. What the fuck killed me? Multi-shot. Oh. My pom didn't trigger. I was going to penance as well. That's fucking tragic. I wasted a speed part. I have 1 gold, man. I can't afford to do that shit. Can you get? They're not even a pre-made, man. This is depressing, bro. As soon as you saw six rogues, you knew it was over. Yeah, man, I'm with you.
Oh, yeah.
Running. No penance, dead. I wish there was a macro that could queue up an item swap. Does anyone know if there is? I know item rack can do it. It's like you cannot do without one combat. Okay, that's fine, but queue it up at least. Anyone know of a macro that can do this? Other than like using item rack. Because item rack a little bit shady. As in like it bugs out all the fucking time. I feel like there should be like a weaker or a macro or something. Oh, you want me, bro? Have a blackout. Oh my god, you got fucking lay on hands again, man. Oh, I hate palas, man. This pet is legit gonna kill me, like. Get me out.
Whatever fucking.
Alright, we got 2 rogues and 2 priests now.
Whoever has to do that.
Wait, let's wait a sec till we get the buff. Oh. Does anyone know if Firefin snappers sell? Need to make a little trip to the auction house and vendor some of this shit. Or sell off some of this shit. Okay, nice, we're getting the buff.
Blood and thunder.
I go mage. Oh, okay, sure.
Victory.
What server are we on? We are on Living Flame, my boy.
Go with honor.
Living
Cat has getting me,
Flame
boys.
in A?
I'm just gonna make a quick trip to the auction house. I got 1 free action pot. And I got a couple of gulch bandages. I need to use bandages more. They're not great, are they? Just sell anything, man, at this point. Like, I just need fucking gold. I'm so poor. Oh, elemental air. I don't even know where I got this. It's selling for 2 gold. Where the fuck did I get elemental air from? Okay, we have 4 priests. It's a win. Oh my god, my boy. Yeah. Give me that. Give me. Oh, you fucking legend. Dude, minor fortitude. Does that stack with my fortitude? Wait, it does. I haven't been using this, dude. Extra 27 HP. Alright, we've got a bit of Deviate Delight on the go as well. We'll get, you know what? Do I use a black? Nah, there's no way I use a black label in here. I'm gonna use a lean wolf steak though. I'm saving the black labels for world PvP. Oh, the smoked sagefish as well. Oh my goodness, the benefactors are in this game right now, dude. Did you guys come from Zico's stream? What is this? Absolutely fucking showered in riches right now. Alright, we're on 1.5k HP right now. I got some mistletoe as well. Who wants to mistletoe me? I'll trade you. PK'd, mate. Should we do it? Should we toe each other? There you go, mate. I'm assuming it was you. Love the content, bro. Keep it coming. Quick question. Will all races get access to all racial spells later? So I'm assuming you mean priests? Like the priests, by what we've heard, are gonna be getting more access to other priest racials, right? That's what we're hearing. but you won't get unlimited race racials, right? So if you're dwarf priest, you can switch your fear ward and your desperate prayer, but not your stonefall. It's the TLDR. Oh my god, this battle is rough. I don't know where, like, some people are just scattering, like... Okay. No, oh my god, my boy! Wait, I can res him, man, I swear. We can save him, we have the technology. I have a pet on me, I can't. Graveyard's close, brother. Fuck's sake. Yo, there's a priest right here, this is the easiest kill of our life. I think we're against a pre-made, aren't we? Yep, lone wolf. I just want to not lose my buffs, man. Our Randy's are scattering. This pre-made's actually winnable, right? Because it's probably just a pre-made of Randy's. But, if people just scatter and run rather than holding the line, it's going to look rough. I mean, there can't be many pumpers on Lone Wolf, right? Come on. Oh, it's a huge sheep. I have no mana though. That's a lovely sheep. I'm gonna fear here now. I got no mana. I'm so dead. I'm mana potting. Swallows gonna follow me to the ends of the earth for the kill now, isn't he? Oh, he's fucked up actually. I'll just drink. Oh, the mana drain. Desperation kicks in. I'm gonna run back here and just make their life a pain. Just run around, be a fucking annoying cunt. Oh. Let's go this way. The more I can line, the more I can regen. Oh, he's getting the berserking. Oh, my boy's coming over, PK'd. Yes, PK. Come on, lad. Give him a little fear, into a little war song foodie. Where's my music gone, man? There we go. Change the music. This will do. Trance classics. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. Oh, this wallet gave up, dude. Dude, who was that sheep? Yeah, that fucking sheep was so good on the flag carrier. I mean, we're losing, right? We're losing this game, but we can at least make their life a fucking misery. Where is the flag, actually? You know what? I'm gonna go and help our boy out. I think it was Ivor for the win, man. Alright, let's go. I just don't want to lose my buffs, man. I got some nice buffs. Dude, they're not even, like, doing anything. I feel like we'd be better on attack. Do you know what's so sad, man? This mount not working in Warsaw. Like, whose decision was that and why? Like, I'd love to hear the reason. I bet there's probably a reason, but I doubt it's a good one.
What? What's not working in Warsaw? Well, this was a giant waste of time.
My shoulders broke, boys. I repeat, my shoulders broke. Dude, what is this? Like an army of people just on me insta. Be gone. I don't know where our Randalls are, man. There's an priest here. Just take him out. It's a free kill. Concussive shot, let's go. This Hunter's running around meleeing. Oh no. Oh my goodness. No, oh my god, that's what we're dealing with, boy. This is our Hunter. Oh no. Oh, nice sheep actually. Let me purge this guy up. Prep him for the murder that's about to happen to him. Oh, that's a lovely blackout. And there's the bubble.
Derp derp.
Oh, the leaf's been robbed. Like, we can just be annoying and slow him down midfield as much as possible. How many HKs do we actually have? Not many. To be fair, we haven't died that much either. Wait, they lost the flag. Go, go. Wait. Yeah, but they lost the flag. We've got a flag. Maybe I should have been with our flag. I'm gonna go and assist. I'm gonna eat some cornbread. Your shoulders broke, yeah. I'll work. You know, I'll whack the replacements on. Don't worry about it. No worries. Our flag is gonna be having a mare getting out of there, though. We don't have enough hunters. I think that's our main issue. This guy could easily die. Come on, death. How is he just perfectly ranged? There we go. Oh, we got a stone form out of him, actually. We just need to meet our flag, man. We got this. Go graveyard. Yes, boss. Look at this free priest. He's just running into ascending, boys. Not enough send. Oh my god, we can make it, bros. Go, go, go.
The hippogriff is
Oh,
a
that's
noble
such a good
beast,
blackout, man. Holy
proud
shit.
and swift.
You can
They are
make
an
it,
honor
mate.
to
Go
train
on.
and can quickly take
Stuck
their
in.
rider a great distance.
Going under the knife to change your physical body to look more for men.
Don't you have Botox?
I don't think
it has anything to do with
yes,
being
I've gotten
fuckable.
Botox.
I think
before.
so we do it for ourselves.
Yeah, getting breasts and getting a BBL is much different than getting Botox.
But I also didn't
Correct?
get it. I didn't get it for a man. I got it for
But
myself.
you absolutely got it for men.
That's
No,
that's
I
not our
didn't. I got it
perception
for
on
myself.
it though.
No one gets a boob job for themselves.
I do
That's
get it
ridiculous.
for myself.
You do that? To feel confident for yourself.
Yeah, but it's feeling confident because you feel more.
Why is that? Why does that have to be all?
Why is everything
sexual?
about? Literally. Why is everything about? You're getting breasts? You are adding a sexual organ to your body? How is that about? Is that a joke?
I think you might be the joke.
We all. Yes, but you are altering your body in a potentially lethal.
Lower your voice.
In a potential.
Lower your voice.
Yo, she wants smoke from like everybody. This is okay. This is good.
Going under the knife to change your physical body to look more for men.
Don't you have Botox?
I don't think
it has anything to do with
yes,
being
I've gotten
fuckable.
Botox.
I think
before.
so we do it.
Hey, you look big. What's your max bench? What's your max bench? What's your max bench? Every time, even with benching every workout, I get nowhere. The gym bros of this world are too cruel. It's just a lift, bro. It's not just a lift. The bench press is the staple of a gym bro. It's one of the 3 iconic lifts, and if I must say, it's the best lift. Achieving a 225 bench is like achieving manhood.
Holy shit!
But how do you increase your bench press? Well, today I'll show you. Today we'll be talking about how to rapidly increase your bench press. Hi, my name is Nicholas Bird, and at 16, at 150 pounds body weight, I benched 315. I also set the AAU single bench world record for my age and weight class, so you know I know a lot about bench press. And today I'll be showing you how to rapidly increase your bench press through 5 parts: form, training techniques, frequency, supporting muscle groups, and nutrition that will all help maximize your bench press. Okay, so first we're going to be talking about form, so if you're already comfortable with your form, you can skip to this time frame, but I think it would be good for any lifter to like just review the basics and make sure they're doing everything right and not doing anything wrong, so yeah. Okay, so proper form is definitely crucial for increasing your bench press, but is also crucial for reducing injury. I've got so many injuries over the years with bench press, so I know you definitely want to avoid this. So yeah, I'm just going to show you all the proper techniques so you don't get injured and you maximize that bench. Okay, so for your body position, you want to maintain a stable arch back. And you do this by retracting your shoulder blades and putting them down. This really helps with any pain or tension in your shoulder. And if you still feel any pain or tension in your shoulder, you definitely want to check that out, and make sure that you are retracting your shoulder blades and putting them down. You also want to keep your feet planted on the ground and push forward just a tiny bit so you do have the tension throughout your legs. And also you want to brace your core with that arch back so you have tension throughout the whole body, so you're more like a slingshot, Okay, we're gonna move on to hand placement. And for this, the general rule is to have it a little wider than shoulder width. But how I like to do it is put the bar on my chest and find a point where my forearms are perpendicular to my bicep, making a 90-degree angle. This really helps with the wrists and make sure that your wrist doesn't get injured, and also helps you maximize the amount of force you're going to put in. But again, you do want to experiment to see which position feels the most comfortable for you. So yeah. Okay, moving on. We're going to put our eyes right below the bar. And in some cases, when I don't have a spotter or have someone to lift off, I like to put the bar right below my lips, just because it feels a little more comfortable for me. But after you lift the bar up, you want to lower it to your lower chest. And while you're here, you do want to make sure that you're feeling all the tension. And when you push up, you don't want to push up vertically. You want to push up more in an arc or more of a curve. And this really helps with the amount of power you can really put out. And it feels more comfortable for your body, reducing injury. So yeah, you want to push out into an arc. So the general rule is when you lift it, you want to go over your shoulders. So lower chest to shoulders. Lower chest to shoulders. Oh yeah. And I also like to lower the bar more controlled and then spring up faster. This just helps me control the weight. It makes me feel better and more comfortable. Yeah, so that's like the general form, but remember everyone is built a little differently, so definitely work on how your body feels and what makes you feel the most comfortable and what makes you feel the strongest. Okay, let's get into training routines and frequency. When increasing my bench press, I really wanted to bench around 3 to 4 times a week. 4 might seem really excessive, but I was going for the world record bench, so I had to increase my frequency. I would probably do 4 times a week, rest, then 3 times a week, rest, 4 times a week. So I'd repeat the cycle, right? But this was really to increase it for the powerlifting meet. For a lot of you guys, you just want to increase your bench press, not professionally, not on a competitive level. So I would still say 2 to 3 times a week would be best for optimizing bench press, and that's definitely something you can put in your routine. Definitely, if you want, you can follow the push-pull leg routine and still do 2 times a week, and you'll still increase your bench press up by a ton. But yeah, just letting you know, if you do want to increase your bench press, the more you do it, it's usually better. You still want to have rest days, right? So when I did bench press for 4 times a week, I want to go heavy on all of them. I would go probably heavy on 2 to 3 of them and have the rest for like form and just activation muscle to really get the mind muscle connection. There was a point where I would be in class, right, and I'll be writing papers or something, and I would be activating my chest muscles while writing my essay. So It's just, I did the frequency to get more of the mind-muscle connection than anything, because rest, you still want your rest, that's super important. But yeah. Okay, so for the most of you guys though, I'll probably be 3 times a week, and this is how I would structure it in your routine. Okay, so for the first day of benching throughout the week, I would do more of a hypertrophy day, where I would pause bench maybe 8 to 10 reps for around 4 sets, going down each weight like a pyramid style training. And this really helps my muscle growth, and also like it's more of a slow and controlled type of process, getting a lot more reps done. And then I would transition this into day 2, where it's more of a power day where I'll go heavy. So I'll do probably 3 to 5 reps paused, still slow and controlled, but definitely a lot heavier this day because I do want to work my strength. So paused, up, and I would probably do this around for 4 reps again, decreasing the weight accordingly like a pyramid style training. And finally, for the last day, day 3, I would do more explosive type training, where I'll do maybe 5 to 8 reps, and I'll go pretty explosive. This would really help my fast twitch muscle fibers grow, and you know, it's more fun as well. And by repeating this cycle, it really helps your bench press go up. So I do want to go more in depth with pause benching that I was mentioning, and it's basically where you do a regular bench press, but you pause it at the bottom of your chest for around 1 to 2 seconds, then go up. This really makes it where you have no momentum to really slingshot it with your chest, and this really isolates your chest to another level, and you get hella gains from this. Like, actually, your bench will go up so much. I've had a friend who came to me as like, hey, I'm in a plateau, what do I do? My bench is not going up. And I told him about the pause benching, and just in a couple of weeks, his bench was going up 10 pounds every time he worked out. It was crazy. That's just the power of pause benching. And there's definitely other techniques and routines that you can incorporate. It's just, I personally love pause benching, and I do it 2 out of the 3 times I work out bench press a week. Okay, now let's talk about the supporting muscle groups, mainly the triceps and shoulders. If you ever had an experience where the bench press was very easy at the beginning of the portion but very hard to lock out, that is because your triceps are lacking. And this is a case with a lot of people. I've definitely seen a lot of people get all the way to the middle of the bench press and just fail because their triceps could not lock out. So how do we solve this? I love to do tricep pushdowns or just close grip bench press that really helps explode those triceps and get them used to the movement of going up, because your triceps do play a huge role in bench press. There was like a time where I wasn't even hitting triceps because my bench press was doing it for me. So, I mean, and that just really emphasizes how much your triceps matter in the bench press. Now, the shoulders are also very important for stabilizing your bench press and just making you feel a lot better. Also, your back is engaging with the bench press, especially what I told you with the lats, like how it's more like a throw, like, whoa, you know? So you do want to work on those muscle groups, and just doing stuff like shoulder press or lateral raises will definitely increase the stability of your bench press. That will definitely make it go up. This also applies to you if it's really easy to lock out, but it's very hard to get to the beginning section of the bench press. And that's when techniques like the pause bench or isolating on the chest really helps sort out that problem.